What's going on, y'all? Yeah, the topic is what the update, what's about to come in the future. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the future formats of social media and what I'm seeing in this. It says the future of the manosphere. This is the last time I want to address it because there's some recent events. We have like a certain individual. Um, I'll mention him later in the stream, but a little civil war going on, so I'm kind of multitasking. But yeah, man, this is the last time I'm gonna cover the sphere like this. Talking it, and I ain't gonna talk bad as much, but I'm done talking about them. You know, if you want to look at those videos, that's fine, but this is the last time I'm gonna put the Manosphere in the title. And then the last one, I'm gonna probably talk about it. It's gonna be on the 20th, but this is the second to last. But the last one I'm gonna talk about is the politics of it. Someone already gave me a like. But yeah, this is gonna be talking. I'm gonna talk about the co-ed spaces that you see that's common in the space in the sphere. Um, we seen individuals try that, and I think Auntie had an issue. I think it was around my birthday on the 2nd of May. He had a hard time. I mean, it was a good success until I think JX came in, and I don't want to say flipped the table. What I mean by that, she took over. You know what I mean? And the females went down in the chat, and then they came back and try to came at her. But you know how it is. And I think Todd City referenced last night. So like she's running the sphere, it's a lot of debate who runs it or whatever. And then I just heard recently, shouts out to Bishop and them guys. They laying down the law, you know what I mean? But we'll mention Sandman later because I've seen this before last year around this time. This is when Mazunga and Mr. Fitnelli done brought in by accident. This is when the brain trust starts tripping out. I'm gonna break down the history of that, and it's common in this space, and I think this happened before. This is not new, it's gonna continue. The future of this the sphere or the space, what y'all want to call it, is this is probably a new format. I ain't saying StreamYards, but I'm saying future streams like this. I think YouTube is trying to promote that on these channels and these platforms because what I've noticed, they want you to have like a co-ed like space, but in reality, you barely see male spaces. The problem is with that, you see content creators want that, and it's not a bad thing. I am treading lightly because I think this is a discussion that we need to talk about. You have, I think, what's her name, Melody. You had her interviewing the Lord Ramil earlier. She's growing, but I give her 1,000 next month, or she'll get 1,000 this month. She'll probably get more. See, when you have female content creators come with gear, that's gonna be an issue for most fellas. Most fellas, they just don't really care. They just want to do their little content, do their little thing. But I know everybody's gearing up for the future. But that's the whole format. But we'll see. We'll see what the new technology is going to come in the future. And I'm talking about things like that. This format is going to probably change for the next 4 years. So we're not going to see a lot of male spaces because you're going to see a lot of male content creators going co-ed spaces or should I say marriage like content. And I ain't saying like relationships. That's what sells. If you're doing content like mine, it will be on the back burner. But to me, I don't care. I'm the villain. I'm mostly I do the opposite of what everybody else does. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm gonna say it like this: it's okay to have a male spaces that we could discuss real topics, real things, or what I on this channel I talk about a little bit of everything like world history, the Hebrew stuff. You want to get biblical a little bit, and sometimes I talk about esoteric things. That's what this channel is based off on. My channel is not relationship based. That's not my expertise because I'm not an expert in that. I'm not a matchmaker. That's for people there's a couple of individuals that do that. They're very good at it. And there's certain channels that can do that too, but they can make a lot of money off of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging those fellas. That's their thing. They're professionals. Y'all bless them. You know what I mean? But yeah, co-ed spaces is a trend. It's a growing trend. It's going to grow next year and years beyond because that's what YouTube is trying to promote. That's probably, if you're trying to get big, you got to have a co-ed space. You got to have a female co-host. And I hate to say that if you ever cam up, that's what they want. It's just like Kuda said, they coming with gear. So when you talk about mainstream media, it's actually female dominated. I'm sorry to say it, fellas, but a lot of people say it's male dominated. No, it's not. It's female dominated. And I heard what Angerman said about the politics. Like, it's kind of like what I'll be saying about next year, and then the end of the year. I mean, the end of the 4 years, there's going to be some changes because a lot of people are going to get tired of this woke stuff. A lot of companies is pushing back the white male. See, we've been dealing with for decades, beyond decades, and especially in these spaces, this sphere that we're dealing with. In this sphere, it's going to be some lot of changes. So you're going to see that this summer. It's going to get rocky. It's going to be some pushback. It's going to be a little civil war debates and things like that. But I will discuss most of that build up on the 20th, because what I'm going to talk about, when do we endorse that? You know what I mean? Because I remember a long time ago in the 1.0 era days, we wasn't even stussing about poly tricks like that. I mean, before I came to it, somewhere around 2008, in 07, I was talking about that in groups when YouTube had groups and stuff, right? Broadcast yourself era, right? In 08, when I had my old channel, I talked a little bit about it and I know what was going on. This is under the election during Barack Obama era, right? That was very, very a keen for me back then, because back then I was looking at right-leaning stuff, not left-leaning stuff, and I learned a lot from both sides, but in the left as well for years, in the right, and then learn about individuals. But politics was a fairly new thing. It was discussed in black sectors, but not in the, should I say, the manosphere sector like 1.0, and I think 2.0 kind of promote that later on when we left in 2014. And that's a big deal. That's a big, big, big deal. And I believe that that's when it kind of creeped in, but probably the 3.0 era, because they extended it and they lasted for, like they said, they've been there for 3 years. Well, it's like 3 years, but it ain't enough. And there's a split. You have stream teams going at them, but the leader of the other 3.0, brain trust, supposed to lead them to the promised land. So now you got people saying 4.5.0 because they don't believe in the brain trust. Now go figure. And that's a problem. And a lot of people are divided on this stuff. And then you got manifestos laying out last night, challenging people if you don't comply and whatever. And have to meet. They don't have to worry about me. My space is not Manosphere bound. It's mine is classic Manosphere 1.0. That's all it is over here. I represent that. I don't represent the other Manospheres because we're all divided. We're not unified because we got an individual that's challenging the what they will say the black manosphere, but most people will call it the so-called black manosphere because they said we got paperwork. Yeah, you got paperwork, but you're getting challenged by a white guy that can deter that by an individual that y'all have problems with success. This is going to be a topic about a build up from the June 20th, and I'm going to extend it. This is the first half of it. This is going to be the co-ed spaces is the future. We're going to deal with this, and I'm going to see what I've written in here. New style of panels of the future. When you're going to start seeing is co-ed spaces dominating probably all social media platforms, because I already seen it in Twitter. Twitter has one like a panel thing, like a stream thing. You can join. I forget what it's called. If y'all put it in the chat. I've seen this a lot on Twitter, and it's getting, they're copying YouTube. You know, they're copying, because when people use StreamYards and Zoom, that's when people start doing their things, right? And mainly you're just building up confidence. So it's mainly you're seeing what's going on. Like I think the new style of formats is coming. You know, when people start using these type of apps and stuff, there's Mel and there's others. But I'm just saying, I saw this on Twitter and people start talking, and you can join the chat. And I get it on my phone a lot. And, you know, it depends on who you follow. And then they want you to join the chat with them. And it's kind of weird. But I think live streaming is the standard now, you know, because it all started from Instagram. I won't tell you a secret. When you go live on Instagram Live, like live streaming and Skype, it came from there. But over time, YouTube had their own thing. But the apps came later. Now Google Hangouts, Wacky said it got destroyed in 2019 because nobody was feeling Google. You know what I mean? To me, that was good. That was a Google problem. I don't think it was a streaming problem. I think it was Google. These streams that people say it's going to go away and disappear, it's not going away. When I saw that interview with Zero with the Prophet of Thought series, and he said he got some friends in Google that he know personally saying these type of formats are not going away. He's absolutely right, because you got co-ed spaces dominating these type of atmospheres. You know why? It's because it makes big business and big money and big data. Because when you're dealing with relationship topics, it becomes very, very akin what you're doing, right? So a lot of times you're dealing with people that deals with these type of topics, and I think it's big business, big money. People want to stream for like 8 to 12 hours, and I think they're gonna remove the cap in the future. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, Zoom app. Most people say you can go over 24 to 36 hours. I ain't gonna mention that individual's name. You know who I'm talking about, and then Aegon, of course. I mentioned him. He's the only one I know that go over, right? Well, what happens if they move the cap so you can stream for 48 hours, right? And then StreamYards can let you go over that. You know, a lot of people say YouTube wants you to do long streams. Yeah, it's true. I think Platinum said it best. But the way they're gonna show you the stream is how you're gonna stream that long. You know what I mean? What's your subject matter gonna be? But see, my thing is I'm not even worried about it, because that's just one thing, right? See, when you're dealing with content, you're dealing with parameters of what's going on, because a lot of people, they just don't want to deal with the real right now. So I kind of respect what's going on. You know what I mean? And I'm not even tripping anymore and what the content is going to be, you know? And I'm just saying, like, here, look, man, you do you, I do me, and that's it. So I'm not trying to beef with nobody on in these spaces and things like that. And I think people just need to chill and just relax, because let's get down to the Sandman situation. The Sandman situation is very, very a big issue. This reminds me of last year with Mazunga and the individual who I call Mr. Fidnelli, aka Fantastic, right? He brought that boy over in different streams with, you know, the big homie JX, right? Last year, see, I didn't know at the time when I subscribed to him around this season, I would say May to June, and I cut him off since December 3rd because he blocked me from a certain political situation, but I ain't gonna get into that. But I'm gonna get into the incident that he did in that summertime, and I think when Mazuka came on his panel, he dissed all the black panelists on there and people in the chat about saying black people wasn't smart and yada yada yada. You know, typical bullshit by the other people, right? Of the palm color they would like come, or so-called white people, right? This is what they do, right? With the racial shit, right? And people got so emotional. And I think Wacky made a response to it. That response stream explained it all. But there was another response from the Brain Trust, and the Brain Trust was upset, and the only person who was upset that took the Black Pride was Jay Shine, and he got so furious about what happened. Then Zero kind of saved the day. They say he broke down his points and then got him off the panel or whatever. But to me, Zero didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? That's an excuse to say, "Oh, Zero saved the day." No, you did this to yourself and got him in trouble with that. And now it's personal, and then people start getting upset about it. It got so physical on the panel. Yeah, you start seeing him coming there back and forth. Then Wacky came up there and corrected him, and you had I think his rival Taz up there. Then you had Big J. You know, if you remember that stream, that's what it reminds me of. The Sandman, Sanddog, wherever his name is. That situation with the MGTOW guy. And said, "What is the Black Manosphere?" and all this other nonsense. That's a shot just like Mazunga. You know, that's what it reminds me of. And the reason it reminds me of that is one of those situations. So You got to understand what you're dealing with. A lot of people just don't like the fact that you're being challenged right now. You are the standard. What's going on in the thought leaders? So black man has a voice now than ever before. So yeah, man, you have to really be on par what you're doing, man. You can't get emotional over this shit because that's not what we're there about. So you gotta understand something. A lot of people just don't care what we do. That's just bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to keep it simple and I try to keep it smooth. And I try to be fair to people on panels that I talk to and in discussions and things like that. But yeah, he's trying to challenge this side over here. That side over there is on some bullshit, right? Like Fresh and Fruit, for example. I don't even fuck with their podcast. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The way I saw that clip from Ty City, they mentioned in the chat, those dudes cannot handle those females or those women on on their panel and try to kick them out, and they was being ratchet, right? And I think Platinum did a response stream on that, and yeah, man, it's awful, man. And that's what I'm talking about. The future of panels. Are they going to be more co-ed panels? And once they start doing that, there's more problems in the sphere like that. And the reason there's more problem in the sphere like that, you're going to have problems. The problems you're going to have is like, they're going to disagree with you, everything. And I think it's like hot lava, like Kuda was saying, like the black man has power now with a voice online. He's not controlled, right? Now, if you go to mainstream media, they water us down. They want to put us in a box, put us in an alternative box, and kick us out of the main core of the alphabetic letter media. Am I correct? And I'm just saying, that's what you're seeing with this sand dog or Sandman or something like that or whatever. I think it was Sandman. Yeah, Sandman. I think the white guy Sandman. I'm trying to figure out the video that he referenced what's going on, the Sandman situation. I want to look at my history. Let's go. I won't say the correct name because I don't know what the issue, how it all started, and I want to address this because this is kind of ongoing. If we are the thought leaders, like BGS said, and we are the men of the hour, right? Well, there's a lot of issues going on with the sphere because this is going to continue, and I think it's going to continue. It's a pattern every summer, and I'm just trying to see what the hell is going on. So, I was trying to look for that Floyd fight with what you call it, Logan or Jake Paul, but it doesn't matter. I'll check it out later. I'm not gonna do it on this stream, but I'll check it out later. I'm gonna see the highlights of that fight, and I don't want people sending me no links because I ain't trying to get flagged for nothing. So yeah. So I think it was Sandman. Yeah, Sandman. I believe. Yeah, it was Sandman. They must have deleted and put it on private, but it doesn't matter at this point. That's just like the situation got worse, and I think people need to understand that you're gonna have the opposition coming at your head like that. I dealt with this almost decades ago with this channel, but my first channel, I dealt with this like decades, man. I'm this dude. I'm the same dude I've always been since I came with this second channel, and I come with a hard edge. I got to be built for this. This is a good thing that we can survive on here and say, hey, we got a message out. So basically what I'm trying to say is the new style for panels is these co-ed spaces. And I think a lot of people hate them in the sphere or any sectors that you see on YouTube. A lot of times people are trying to push that, which is not a bad thing. I'm not judging anybody that has family structure. It's nothing wrong with family. Family is probably the goal for most men. They love relationships and things like that. But that's the whole purpose of society. I think that's probably the future, what you want to go at. But 9 out of 10, I think people want to stay on the float. This whole purpose of this video is going to be a build up to the second because I think when you get to the, I mean, not second, but the 20th, I mean, the 20th of the Politrix video, and I'm going to break it down how that's connected to this video, because this is kind of like the future that you're seeing in these spheres and these ways that you see people and things like that. You're getting into a level unfamiliar territory. The females and slash women, I would say, are coming for information. It's common. They'll comment to you. They'll talk to you on panels and things like that. I've been on several panels with plenty. Never act up and scream and cuss them out. I don't need to. But what I saw on Platinum, but we give him the nickname Platinum Springer, man. He has the wildest joints, and you had one dominate the conversation about the fresh and I like to call them fresh and fruit, but fresh and fit situation with the females, and they didn't handle that well. I mean, like I said, they stay professional. Yeah, there was a little professional. I don't even watch some dudes like that, but you should have security that's female. Someone said in the chat, and I agree. Or it depends on the male. But what I'm saying is, this is going to be more problems. You're going to have a lot of problems. You got people coming at us. You got people dealing with co-ed panels and drama. That's the new thing of the sphere. And I think that's part of the game that they want. And I'm not judging nobody off of it. Do how you do your content. You know, your content is you. Just don't let it destroy your credibility as a person, you know, because sometimes when you get doxxed or whatever, that's how they get you. You know, they get you on little things like that. So I'm not really judging nobody. I think this stream needs to be addressed, because co-ed panels, they think this is the future, and I believe it is. It ain't right now. It's small right now. You know, it ain't. We ain't at that level. We ain't at that level yet. So that's what sells it. Drama is an old thing of the sphere. Yeah, it is. It is wacky. Shalom, man. But I'm just saying, man, this is a build up where I'm going to do a stream about the Politrix part, and it's connected to why it's being pushed. Future streams. Zero said something vital with the Prophet of Thought series, and I think he says something that these type of apps and these stream apps become the future, the norm, because of certain panels, certain ways how you conduct your stuff, and they're gonna have a feature. And I think YouTube will make a feature stream apps similar to compete with this, because you know it's all about money and data. We don't know what the fourth industrial revolution is going to be. It's going to be in our hands. I've discussed that on this channel as well. Check that stream out. I broke down a few things, what's going to be a future, how you're going to adapt to this adaptation of technology, because this is the thing. If things do get shut down, if COVID, it becomes a thing, that's when you start seeing people, how are they tested. These streams are a test to see how you can deal with people on panels and stuff, especially with women. Are you a good media person? You know what I mean? They can hire people from the media, but I ain't saying we're getting hired. I'm just saying this is like a nice outlet for certain individuals to get successful. For us, we're going to be underground. Let's just keep it real. We're going to get underground, keep our message straight, and we're doing the work outside of this. But this thing is going to be a new format, man. It's not stopping anytime soon. It's a machine. It's going to continue. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life, because you can do something outside of YouTube. There's ways to build tech outside of YouTube, and I do understand that. It's not for everybody. You're just going to have to learn to survive. But one thing I can say about these panels, style of co-adding, like I see from Melody, Antes, and a few others, and I don't want to mention Platinum and others like that. The reason they got those panels, I'm going to tell you a secret. The reason they got those panels is for clicks and views. If you have females on your panels, if she's popular on a certain channel, it can be small or big, right? It's the sounding of the voice, what Zero said. Men flock to that because of entertainment. They want it. It's like a prize. They stick with it, but they do a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? And yes, they love the arguing, the back and forth. Sometimes, okay, for me, for example, you do not see me screaming, yelling, cussing out a female on panels. I'm gonna tell you why. It's no need to. You know why? Some of them, most people say they're ran throughs. True. And you got some to say they're looking for a relationship. Yeah, true. You got some that say they look for marriage. True. Oh, I forgot one person to do co-ed almost. It's Roger Report and Art of New Style. Art of New Style has a male channel, yes, but he allows women on his panels too. Him and Roger, which is not a bad thing, but they do it orderly. You know, they don't let them go crazy with the over talking and all this stuff. Now, if you want to talk about your boy Mr. Platinum or Platinum Springer, like DS1 would call him, you're gonna have problems because you got a lot of drama over there. Because they're gonna look at his channel like saying, "Is that appropriate or not?" They're gonna pick and choose what's going on. What's going on, Juan G? Salute. And yeah, man, this is the thing where we got to look at here. Now, these channels that are male stricken have less females. A lot of people say they're going to be destroyed. Not necessarily. We're just going to be on the bottom a little bit, but we'll be mid-tier. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to say we're mid-tier because if we're talking about different subjects and have real content and real substance, you're gonna get some success. I mean, don't ever say never. It depends on how you get on panels and stuff. You know what I mean? But if you do get female followers and if you're accepting a little bit and try to do like I give you an example. If you're like a Art of New Style or Roger Report and you get females on your panels, but not a lot, and you control the arguments and things like that and don't let them overtalk, you got power. But you know. Yeah, that's what DS1 calls me. Called Platinum Street. Yeah, because his show is full of drama. I'm just saying, man. Like people laugh at him like all the time. I don't take none of his stuff seriously. I just troll over there, and I just observe who's gonna be on panels acting crazy. But that's all it. Let's go on, go P, go Professor. Salute, brother. But I'm just saying, you know, check his channel out, guys. Yeah. You're gonna have these things, and I forgot. Gold Professor does a little co-ed himself. It's all these panels, man. But that's like the future with discussion, nice conversation. I believe that's the way to go if we want to talk to them, and that's it. It's not my problem. I'm fairly new at this thing, hosting and things like that. I'm getting better, and I'm observing to see who I want and who I don't want. And that's just what I'm trying to see. But I just try to have a civil conversation and just be frank with people, you know, discuss real topics and things like that. But this one is just a walkthrough from the 20th. I'm going to talk about a little bit of the politics that I've seen in the space and the arguments and things like that, male and female. This one's going to be like future panels and how they're going to conduct themselves and things like that. Now, the chat is a whole nother beast. It's like commenting. You're just trying to deal what you got. And that's the thing. So, you know what I'm saying? And what's going on, Rashawn? Yeah. I don't care if the panels are co-ed or not. What I care about are the topics are being talked about in this space. Exactly. Same here, Wacky. You know, some people, I agree with his statement right there. Yeah, I don't care either. But long as the topic, we stay on topic, that's the main thing. But, you know, but this is my observation. I'm just observing what I see about co-ed panels. I think they're better, but if they're not, that's good too. I'm fair to both. And that's just doing me. You're doing great. Appreciate you, Go P. Yeah. Personally, the co-ed panels are just full of circle arguments used for pure entertainment. Exactly. They are Wacky, because I think they are, because that's what sells. I hate to say this. The monetization, the cash apps, what you call it, super chats. Yeah, you see a lot of them for that. But Auntie, he gets a plenty. I noticed from him. Art of New Style, yeah, it's a few others, but I'm not talking about them guys. They're decent with it, but the ones is obvious. You already know. That's what they're trying to sell. It depends on who you are, man. And they're gonna try to push that in the near future. I don't know if it's gonna work, but these channels that are co-ed are being tested right now. And he said it does sell. Correct, it does, and that's what sells. And it's not a bad thing if you're trying to do that. Now, if you're trying to be an entertainer, that's a great thing. I'm not judging you on that. It's just how you deliver your message. I don't care if you get gear or microphones with it. It's the substance of who you are. Now, if people like you for entertainment, I've noticed this about YouTube over the years. When I first started years ago, it's always been somewhat of entertainment. But if you want to talk about serious topics, it's a lot harder. I'm gonna tell you from experience. I'll tell you for myself, it's a lot harder. Okay, you got to take big risk to risk your life doing this work, and it's a price. But you appreciate what you do every day, and you get up and say, "Hey, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to make my subject matter what I'm going to be about. I'm going to have some substance." It's not easy, but you take that risk. You know what I mean? Catch my drift. Take a risk, because I get a lot of views on replays anyway when I notice on these live streams, and that's a good thing. I'm doing something right. I'm trying to be better at this and come with different topics instead of relationship topics. That ain't my thing. That's what sells it. That's what the opposite sex, the females and the women, comes to these spaces to hear. It's not a bad thing. That's normal for them to do that, you know. And I think Jay Speed said on several panels, he said that's what they're here to do, and it's not a bad thing that they migrate like that. So it's not a bad ploy. It's a good business tactic, and a lot of people just do what they do. What Rashawn say? That's the sad part about drama. Yeah, and that's part of the game. So yeah, it's one of those things you got to deal with, and that's just what you got to do. You know. Oh, what's going on, Auntie? Salute, man. Salute. And that's just part of the thing. And I think that's kind of like the future I'm seeing. It's not a bad thing because most people do channels a certain way. Now, mine is kind of like I have panels, but I don't have many females over here, which is not bad because I don't deal with most of them on here because they deal with topics what they want to talk about. And I've noticed, like, when you talk to them on panels, they try to see who's really about that topic or not. You know, it's very weird how YouTube determines how you're gonna get subscribers and whatever. You know, it's what you put in the title. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a stream called "Clickbaiting Is It a Form of Cloud Chasing?" This is a reference to this stream, but I'm gonna do another one about politics on it. The same thing of it as well to break it all down to you. So yeah. People start coming for me just for ignoring the gender war stuff. Exactly. You know, that's how they do, man. Like once you don't talk about the GWs, like the gender war stuff, that's how they get you, man. Especially if you're a co-ed space, they want you to push that narrative. And not only that, it sells. Kind of like these shows like Jerry Springer and Maury Povich. That's that type of style on YouTube. And it's purely entertainment. I believe it's bad because these type of panels do not solve anything regarding the advancement of the so-called black males collectively. Exactly, because a lot of that can be distraction. Some of it's pure entertainment, wacky, and 9 out of 10 they just want attention. Attention is it's a marketer, man. Like look at Instagram, for example. When they had live streams, man, it became the shit. And then you showing yourself, and there you are. You know, the camera is a weapon, boy. I'm telling you, and it's no problem. It's no problem like that. But that's just how life goes. And they said facts again. Agree with the fellas. Yes, it's just sad, man. Yeah, it's sad. That's part of the game. You know, you can't get mad what's going on, and that's just how it is. And when the guys complain about this stuff, well, I want to tell it to you guys. You did it. You allowed them to come. I mean, they've always been in these spaces, but not as heavily I've seen when I came back into it, probably 2019 Skywatching on replays, and then Skywatch in live streams, and then getting in the chat. That's what happened to me. And I was like in the chat, dapping, you know what up, and then Skywatch, and then I started getting in the chat, talking to people, dapping people up, and then later be on panels like Wackies, and then from Wackies to others, and then from there and there, the whole year I was like a panelist. I hate to say it. I was like a panelist. I was like a regular. And then over time, I got tired of that. And then next year I started doing pre-records the early of January. I started talking about utilitarianism and things like that, esoteric stuff, something new to the channel. Someone asked me in the comments when I was doing your videos, and they asked me, and I was doing that. I said something new for the content, something new for the gander and things like that. And then later, the situation, the split and all that stuff in March. Yes, learned a lot about individuals. And then April, I started doing this type of thing, self live streams. Then I started doing the StreamYard thing, and I said, all right. And then I upgraded, I think the last month. Did well in May. Had good people come on and things like that. I'm getting a little better. It's a little trick to it, but I'm getting better. It depends on what you're talking about in your substance and your message. But now this one is just a build up from is clout chasing. I mean, it's clickbait is a form of clout chasing. That's what I say. This is what this reference is, and this is a part of it of what I'm talking about. The future panels, and a lot of people love it. The politics thing, I'm gonna go into that similar to this topic because this is similar topics we're gonna talk about on the 20th, and I did that for a reason because when did we became so political driven in this space, man? Because I remember one time politics was outside of the sphere, and I remember when it was big outside before there was a manosphere because black sex was talking about in groups and stuff on YouTube, broadcast yourself days. I was in groups like Islam and Christianity. We was talking and atheists, we was talking about politics and things like that nature. But this is a time when I was a Christian before I converted into the Hebrew stuff in 2011. Okay. Because I left Christianity in 2009 when I was 21. So that's a long, long time ago. Long time ago. And that really, I started listening to people like Dr. Z. York and things like that, others, and reading scriptures and scriptorial and the etymology and things like that. And then I got into the Hebrew stuff in 2011. That's when I really went off those years on my old channel. But my second channel, out of the flagging of my old channel, I was on that list. I started blossoming this channel, and it lasted for some years. And then when I took a hiatus, my subscription went up until 2019. And like I said before, I was not in the spaces at the time. I was trying to make my return because I was trying to see what the hell's going on with y'all talking about. Is it the same stuff like I heard years and years ago, right? And then what's the subject matter? And then all of a sudden, everybody's talking about new words, hypergamy, and I heard stuff like what else? She ain't this and that, and pump and dump, and I'm just like, wow. And then groups being big, and then the first I heard the word Ignore. That flipped me out. SYSBM, these new terms. Now I heard the MGTOW, but I never heard these other terms. But yeah, man, it's just become the thing, man. Like I start hearing these terms, I'm like, man, this is the new manosphere. This is what we're rolling with. Okay, 2.0. This is the leaders, the godfathers. I've heard of the first two. What's going on new? Salute. And I heard all these terms, man. It's just crazy. And then 2020, the COVID thing came prior to it, and it was pre-COVID. And then the shutdown started going in February. And I mean, man, it's crazy. Everybody was cooped in the house, StreamYard to death, Zoom to death, whatever they get their hands on, right? That whole year, I was self-reflecting just like the year before. It's incredible. It's incredible. Because what I'm seeing is it's incredible when you have people just trying to gather their thoughts what they're going to do in the future. But you know what I mean? Let's see what he says. 1.0 era was always talking about politics, but we spoke about the topic from a non-partisan angle. Exactly, Wacky. Yeah, I will discuss that part. I mean, we did, but it wasn't much. It was like non-partisan, but not no bipartisan. When did the bipartisan stuff come in? I'm like, like the right wing, canardism, that I've seen from Molly Yiannopoulos and Gavin McInnes. When did that came in? I'm going to talk about that on the 20th relating to this topic because I'm not going to get into this topic. I'm just talking about the style of panels that people be on. When did we talk about that, man? I mean, I'm going to discuss that on the 20th because that may be a slightly open panel, but we're gonna discuss some of it, but we're not going to go into detail because I'm going to save the rest of that on the 20th. Because tonight we're going to talk about the style of panels. Is co-ed spaces relevant and whatever? What's going on, Bronze Bird? Yeah, this is what people are looking for, man. And I'm seeing things that's going on in the sphere, but it's one of those things you got to deal with. So yeah, man, it's just one of those things you gotta have to learn that discipline is key. And I try not to act a fool on these panels because they watching, they clipping you and doing things that's obvious, and it's just odd, man. But even though I'm relatively young in the space and I still appreciate it, that's great to hear, Bronzeberg. I mean, the more you learn and discipline, hang around the right people, get some ideas, work on yourself, be proper in society. If you have a side job or a real one, use this as your hobby, as information, get you some books, get you some knowledge. Because if you're this young, advance your education in your 20s. My advice, do that. I did that when in my 20s before I even started dating again. I ain't really dating. I'm just looking for enlightenment for this point because in my 20s, I did that by mistake on a job that I had in my early 20s. So for my advice to you, keep up the great work. Be efficient and you'll be all right in the future. And if you ever get married, that's your choice. As a man, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the choice you need to do. That's my advice to you. But if you're that young, just keep gaining the knowledge at this point. So you'll learn. Okay. Some people's eyes are open and still can't see the shit, Bronzeberg. Okay, that's new with his little doctrine. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? White is asking about your age, Bronzeberg. Yeah, if you're that young, man, take your time. Um, don't be in a rush in a relationship. Like I was in my early 20s, but I kind of cut that off at 21. I was smart back then. I took care of myself. But be efficient, with your knowledge, education in the 20s. Just learn about yourself. Because in your 30s, you're gonna want more things in life and enjoy your career, whatever. If you want to get married, it will come. Just be patient and you'll be great. Be efficient. There's nothing wrong with that. Because what I'm talking about in this topic is similar to that. You're gonna build your foundation, man. It's just one thing a step of another. You're just gonna be all right at this point. So it's nothing wrong what's going on. It's just you got to be more efficient, man. Um, People's doing their things, they live streaming, they doing topics they want to talk about. I'm talking about something totally different. Just to get your mind right, man. Focus on you because the females is gonna be here, the women gonna be here, just like on panels. I don't worry about them. I sleep great at night. They don't bother me. They ain't trying to cuss me out, call me a dusty all day, and calling you a terrorist and you're the bad guy. You're destroying the community. Blah 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 blah. Blah. You know what I mean? I ain't on that. I ain't trying to attack them and try to be thirsty over them. No, it's a strategy I use. I pop shot them. If they ask something stupid, I just walk and leave the conversation. That's what I try to do. And I try to stay away from nonsense from that. Bronzeberg states that he's young in this space, referring to have been in this space in a short time. He didn't mention young in a reference to his age. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was reference to his age, Wacky, but I was, but if he's that young, okay. Take it slow, man. Don't be in a rush. Learn a lot about it. Get you some education on the side, man. Don't rush to education, but I'm just saying, learn about yourself too. It's about self-development. None of these men can teach you. You just got to be smart how you move. Um, this will help you in the long run. From my experience, when I dealt with it during those days with this channel, I did it for like 3 years, and then I left a 6-year hiatus, and then I come back, and then people talk about the same old rhetoric. But that's the thing about beauty, getting a life, getting a job, and meeting different people, and building your confidence, and learn about people. And that's what I did for like a 6-year span of absence of the sphere. You'll see a big difference. I got out of that red pill stuff years ago, even though I'm more on the black pill side, but not on the nihilist side. I'm more realistic what I want. So, I'm not trying to be a pure nihilist, but you know what I mean? That's a whole nother story. Yeah. I encourage new content creators to sit back and watch first. Yes. Excellent. I agree. Because that's what I did my very first channel years ago. I didn't do content until like the next month. It was copyrighted content, and I killed that shit after 2010. No, and that's what I did. And when I start actually doing content, I had to learn about this YouTube stuff for years, and I did very well, very well. And that's my advice. If you're that young Brownsbird, if you're doing content, just take your time, man, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Okay. Yeah. That's his reference. Okay. I watched a lot of creator. Yeah, that's great to hear, guys. And I'm 46 now. Yeah, he's references that. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the likes. I mean, like and share if you want to subscribe, y'all. If you're new, that's all I can tell you. Just spread the message around. But this is a topic we need to discuss about what are the future of these panels, because I think that's what they're trying to push. Because I think that's a way they can get it done. I got 5 out of the box. I had 7 out of the box, and that's great. I mean, I had 7 people out of the box just earlier, and now it went back to 5. But that's a good thing. It don't matter. It don't matter. They're still listening. What else was I about to say? Oh. Okay. Was it Sandman the MGTOW attacking the Black Man? So let's break that down. That reminds me of last year with Mazunga, aka Dirk Nowitzki. That's all it is. That's what my response to that is. That's just to get brothers riled up. And he was asking questions about the Black Manosphere. Some people call it so-called Black Manosphere, but that's another thing. Guys like that want attention because that side is don't have content. They're in drought. They're itching for content because it's summertime. People are itching for the hot summer, because technically we're in spring, but the summer will be on the 20th when I make that live stream. It's going to get hot, and people are going to be out, and they're not going to be doing a lot of content on it. I'll do most of my streams at night and schedule them instead of doing it in the daytime because people are going to be outside. They're going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? They be handling the business out there. But, I know COVID, they try to say it's over, but I don't know if it's going to come back and evolve, but I'm not worried. But enjoy it. It's going to be interesting summer. It's going to be interesting events, the Sphere. And I know people having manifestos saying you can't say this and that. I'm like, let it go, man. It's going to be another civil war brewing. But, hey, I'm just going to sit back and watch the bullshit happens. If the blood spills, hey, don't tell I didn't warn you. The new style of panels is coming, man. They're going to try to dictate the future. But we'll see. I'll read this. I watched a lot of these videos. If it just gives you a different perspective on how to love some better than others. Exactly. And move. Yeah. You got to move efficiently, man. Yeah, man. This is one of those things, man. You just got to do your thing, do your content. Try to be king. What's going on, man? I mean, this is like 48 minutes. I can go on to 50 before I drop the link. If y'all want to discuss whatever, I can go to an hour or 2 or 3. It don't matter to me because I'll drop it in a minute because let me get to the 50 mark. Because I ain't going to do like, let's talk to an hour and then or 2 hours. That's too easy. I can do that with links and stuff and information. Only time I do that is for now. I'm going to start doing this. If I go over an hour and just information and links, that's what I'll do. But if I'm talking about something at the top of my dome, I'm just going to do 50 minutes because it's about to be in the market soon. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about this. This is pondering in my mind when I made those streams and yeah, just only a second, Rashawn. But I'm just saying, man, like this is something I want to just discuss, man. Like I've been thinking about it because I talked about it in the sell stream why people are going to get certain subscribers because the content they make. It's really a big deal for most people because what I mentioned from the last stream, it was called is clickbaiting the problem from social media network, whatever, or is it clickbaiting a form of clout chasing in the description? Yes, It is, and I agree with it. We discussed it. Me and Wacky discussed it. Rashawn discussed it. It's one of those things that you got to get used to, man. That's part of the game that you got to deal with. I got scheduled screams. This coming up. I will say, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. It's open discussion. That's an open panel. We're going to talk about roasting. I'm going to address that with Edward Anderson saying that's a problem. To me, it's not a problem. If someone tries to diss you, whatever, it's whoever. Because a lot of brothers can't take no roasting. So, yeah. I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Boom. We made it our mark. Even though I have 4 out of the box, I'm going to pin the link. And this is what I'm going to do. I just discussed what I want to discuss. But, yeah, man. It's one of those things. But when you have streams like these, you just come off the top of your head and say, man, these co-ed panels, I think they'll probably be the future memes and whatever. So, just going to put this in here. I'll let Rashawn's up. He's here.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Rashawn?
Nothing, man. Peace. I just got finished with my stream, and I do appreciate you sharing that, man, because it was like one of those, not to go off a tangent, but it was like one of those like rants I had that was building in from all, from actually sitting in these panels.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like nobody really have nothing new to like, to talk on this space besides, the small portions of things in life when there's like other things, you know what I mean? And like, I ain't gonna lie, like that shit had me heated. Like, I'm just like, what in the fuck?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, and especially in co-ed panels, like what did Wacky said? I'm gonna highlight his comment. I'm gonna find it. His little chat comment. Yeah, they talk about politics. What do he say about the co-ed? I'm gonna types the panels do not.
Oh yeah, he was also right about that too, man.
Yeah,
shout out to you, Wacky. Like, cause like it made me really think about what he was saying in his live stream earlier.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, like to me, nah, I think there shouldn't be. Well, I would say this. It's inevitable if folks are going to talk about politics on this space. Now, the question is, like, are people going to get a rise, or are they going to start, like, using these goofy ass talking points instead of using their individual points? And also from a nonpartisan angle, we're not.
He said that at one point. Yeah, he said that with 1.0. He talking about where he comes from. They use it for a nonpartisan angle. And I love this comment right here. He said, always talking about politics, but we spoke about the topic from a nonpartisan angle. That means like if you have like an independent thought or whatever. See, bipartisan, you got two parties. You got the Republican Democrat party. That's when did that became a thing. And I'll discuss that on the 20th when the summer starts. That's when it's going to get juicy because I'm gonna show you a graph of the political angle I'm talking about. When did we start talking about these actual dudes in White House and stuff like that?
Right.
Man?
Yeah.
That's new to me in this new modern manosphere that I've seen from last year. And I know people talk about geopolitics a little bit, world politics. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the domestic politics part, we get in the heated arguments. It gets heated arguments. I'll give you an example. On Art of News Styles, like when I start messing with his content, I would say like last year and this year, it gets very, very, very heated. And the reason it gets very, very heated, you got individuals got different beliefs, right? It can be conservatism, liberalism, whatever. But anytime conservatism brought up, they get challenged, and then it gets into ad hominems and attacks. slander one another, and then the canardism comes out, and then Art's trying to say why they think like that. And I told him this on a stream when they did DMX. Rest in peace to him, a tribute to him, right? Yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace to the great
And
dog
there's a
Dooney.
yeah, when he came in that stream, thanks to FYI Edward Anderson, you got some background. But yeah, man.
Yeah, my bad.
It's
Hold up.
yeah, okay. Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, it's just sad, man, because you have an individual challenge the whole panel, and we schooled him on what it was, and then he just kept on and kept on. And then I think they did a one-on-one with him, and we had to drop him down, and then they dropped us down, and I kind of just stayed in the chat the whole time. I'll never forget that. And it gets messy, and that's one of those topics I'm going to talk about on the 20th and break down why you shouldn't have that on your platform like that, because a lot of people get super emotional about their beliefs. It's kind of like religion and politics, that you got to be careful with Black people like that. They get very passionate. I think DC Codebreaker does it best when he said that on Art of New Styles panels, and he cleaned it up at the end. So but that's the beginning of the 2021. Okay, who wants to speak? Is it Wacky or Juan G's? Y'all want to speak before Rashawn fixes his little sound?
I mean, Wanji's was here before me, so
Okay,
Yeah,
Juan G's, you want to say? You want to say something on the topic?
Yeah, I got a little something to say. First, I want to say, what's up with y'all? Though?
What's good, man?
Peace.
No, I can't call it. Well, I'm gonna see from my perspective, because I've been here for a long, not for a long, but since 2014 and everything. And from what I see, people bring up their religions or their politics a lot, and everybody be having two different minds from those situations. But a lot of people do. Sir, you was right about that situation. A lot of people get emotional. A lot of people just get too emotional about whatever they whatever they believe in, and sometimes they just gotta know the differences of whatever the person believes in and just keep it moving.
Cause like the problem is, in this space, you got certain motherfuckers that listen to people to rebuttal, but not listen to them to understand. Cause like most of them are very controversial in a way. So it's like, yeah, I do agree. Like, if you're new to the game on this sector, man, like tread carefully.
Tread carefully when you talk to certain individuals about anything like conservatism. I don't mess with a lot of people that claim that, and if they don't know the research of it, like that's when you want to do your own research, especially any viewpoint that you want to do, because a lot of people get super emotional. That's why I'm very careful, because sometimes in public they try to challenge me when I used to work, and I stand on my views because I'm more center right than anything, because I used to have that right leaning thinking once upon a time when I was younger. I grew out of that stuff. I mean, that stuff, you get older, you start more being center right and sometimes left sometimes. And that's usually the way in politics. Yes, I voted for the other guy because it makes sense, because there's going to be some changes in the near future, because you don't know how people get put in office. It's what you get out of it. Now, I'm probably going to vote a different party the next 4 years. I'm not going to vote for the same one, because it's a pattern. I didn't vote for Trump. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I didn't trust Trump, because he's part of that big business and things like that. And brothers get so obsessed with him. It's like, he's not it. You know what I mean? He's about this money and things like that, but you're never going to be him. You know what I mean? Black folks need to get off this two-party system. Like, I'm trying to get away from myself, and it's not that easy, because when you're dealing with a country, it's about money and corporation and capitalism, even though you do have a little fascism there with liberals trying to cut people off. Like Juan G said, emotions and religions plays a big part of it too. So that's another reason why people's holding on their beliefs. So, but Wacky, you want to say something on the topic? Because this is about the new style of panels. I ain't gonna try to make this about politics, because these co-ed spaces ain't talking about no substance, bro. They just ain't. But go ahead.
Yeah, like I said in the chat, first and foremost, how you guys doing? How you brothers doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
I'm
glad to be alive.
Thanks, Auntie.
Same here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. It's like when it comes to these co-ed panels, it's like there's nothing thought-provoking that comes out of it. There's really nothing that a lot of these co-ed panels say to make you think, because it's the same arguments just being thrust all over again. And these same arguments are just being used for just the entertainment pleasure of the viewing audience. And unfortunately, the viewing audience, it seems like they have a very redundant mentality where they just enjoy hearing the same arguments being thrown around again and again and again, you know, and this I guess is to satisfy their anger that they have against the opposite sex. Because let's just keep it real, a lot of the people within so-called black YouTube are so angry at the opposite sex. You have a lot of black males angry at a lot of black females. Likewise, you have a lot of black females angry at a lot of black males. So
Yeah.
So with that anger that both groups have, they enjoy hearing the same arguments being thrown over and over and over again. But as a result, nothing gets solved. I mean, we have what we have. Like I said everybody out. I think you heard me when I said it one of my prior live streams, and even me and Big J Triple X, we spoke about it. How what's going on right now is that you have a lot of BLM activists who are getting shot up and killed.
Mm-hmm.
Who are getting shot up and killed. And this has been going on for a couple of years now. And some of these BLM activists are very instrumental within their chapter of BLM. Like some of them are very influential and very powerful, and they're being caught dead somewhere, right? There's one that happened in England with this sister named Sasha Johnson. Not too long ago, there was another sister in Tallahassee, Florida, got killed. A brother there was a brother somewhere
in St. Louis.
In St. Louis, there was like 4 people. I think there was 3 to 4 people in St. Louis.
There was nearly
got killed, man.
Yeah, there was nearly 3 activists in Missouri that got killed. Yeah.
And last year there was another BLM activist in Kentucky that got killed. As a matter of fact, this activist, this brother, he was instrumental in orchestrating a march for Breonna Taylor, and he got killed. So it's like we need to wonder, are these BLM activists being targeted? Because regardless of how you feel about BLM as an organization or their philosophy, the fact of the matter is BLM serves as a threat to the establishment. They are. I mean, these guys were very influential in the outcome of Derek Chauvin, which is the cop that you guys know, the cop, the former Minneapolis officer who killed George Floyd.
George Floyd. Yeah.
Now, what had an influence in this decision is BLM. BLM, when it comes to their activism and helping to switch and shift the thinking of a lot of people in the population. So BLM serves as a threat to the establishment, just like how other organizations in the past served as a threat to the establishment, sort of like the original Black Panther Party. Not that I'm comparing the Black Panthers to BLM, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving other examples of organizations that served as a threat to the establishment, and look what happened to them. What makes you think that BLM is not or certain individuals from BLM are not undergoing a COINTELPRO like treatment? But I'm saying that to say this, right? I'm saying that to say this. When you have these co-ed panels always focused on dating, we end up being distracted from important topics like these BLM these members of BLM being targeted and being killed. Like we need to have more intelligence and more substance in these conversations. I mean, there's a time and place to speak about dating, but there should also be a time and place for us to speak about real important topics, such as the education system, and how in a lot of U.S. public schools, so-called black boys are suffering more or end up suffering more suspensions or receiving more suspensions than any other demographic of people. And I read a study somewhere in the University of Maryland, and even not in the university, in the state of Maryland, there was some people that work for the state of Maryland that's conducting some study when it comes to black males being disciplined in school, and they come to find out that the reason why, one main reason why a lot of the black children are targeted or being disciplined more than any other group is because of the perception that a lot of teachers or a lot of members of the faculty have of black males in general. It come to conclude that they just have a perception of black males as serving as a bigger threat. Thus, it results in a lot of black male students being targeted more and more for suspensions or what have you. So this is something we got to focus on. Okay. A lot of, and then when we sitting there just complaining and talk about dating, pump and dump, how come Big Booty Brenda want to have sex with Pookie and Ray Ray? It's like all these dumbass topics. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Time for all that dumb shit.
I don't know if besides Sir saw my live stream.
I did. I skywatched.
I went completely off. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck are y'all like? All the time, you motherfuckers like to bring up dating, and I said in my live, I was like, listen, however, dating is the smaller portion of our lives, but there's other things that we don't get the chance to talk about because we get distracted by these agents. You know what I mean? When it comes to real shit, especially like dealing with the school system, and its education, and why are black children being more disciplined in school, and have this ideology we're predators.
Right.
And that's very like normal. What I've noticed in these co-ed panels, some of them can be a little education. I've seen a few, like on Roger Report. He's structured. He don't let them beat them up as much, but he puts them in check though, like Art of New Style. But the thing is, they let them speak and everything. They don't try to get aggressive and they stay on their square. Even the women do too. There's some decent ones there, but the ones like Ratchet, that what we like to call, he shuts them down real quick. He gives them a chance in the chat. If you're gonna act up a certain way, just like go for it. They don't allow that stuff to be on so long. Now the other individual like Platt, that's purely entertainment. I'll tell you that right now. That and others, that's what the big YouTubers or big YouTube or Google will want for sales. And I've noticed that like we ain't learning nothing. So. We got Shade up in here. I'm gonna let Auntie go, so I'm gonna stop my rambling. What's going on, Auntie?
Yeah, no, what up, sir? What up, panel? What's going on? Dog, I just wanted to come up and add something to that because y'all absolutely. I mean, the co-ed panels, and I get what everybody's talking about as far as the educational system and black boys and things that are going on, and what I'm saying, when you talk about activism. But I don't know if y'all know how easily that shit can still pivot into the same old shit. Like, it just can, what I'm saying?
Right.
Even, and y'all, I mean, if you've been on my channel, I did a lot of long panels, and I put a lot of time into just certain topics. And just certain topics. And there were a lot of topics that, what I'm saying, that I got ideas from, what I'm saying, because I knew exactly where it would go. What I'm saying? Like, we could talk about the educational system and how messed up that is, and then I just know somebody's gonna come up there and say, well, that's because the black men ain't doing shit. And then some dude is gonna say, well, that's because the women kicked them out of the house and chose welfare first. And you know what I'm saying? And then boom, back into the gender war. You know what I'm saying? So that's why certain topics I chose to just stay away from. Just for that purpose right there.
But good. Auntie, okay. I'll wait until you finish. I'm
done. That's just what I wanted to say. Like, bro, it's like they can pivot that shit into from a lot of topics. Like, they can just pivot it into some place you don't even want to go. even when you're trying to do the right thing.
Right.
Go ahead.
You know, I get what you're saying, Auntie, and you know what you do to shut these people up, right? When they come in, and trying to shift it by saying, well, that's because the black males ain't shit, or that's because the black females ain't shit. You know, what you do is put them in a position to prove their point. And when you do that, they end up looking stupid. Because when you put them in a position to prove their point, they end up looking stupid. And then you're like, okay, now shut the fuck up and move on to the topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do that. They do that. No, Angie's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, Angie's correct. Yeah,
Let
because Angie's correct. They do that. They do that. They will turn around and trying to find you. Let's say you speaking about an important topic, right? Let's say you speak about the new the new voters law in Georgia and what have you, right? And somebody will try to find a way to try and shift the topic to speak about the so-called gender war. And they'll say, well, that's because the black women in Georgia, they're this, that, and third. Put them in a position to prove their argument. Have them come out and provide facts. And they'll sit there and they'll freeze and look stupid. And that's where you say, okay, that's what I thought. Move on.
Yeah. Shade, you want to go? Because I'm going to let you go since you were the last one here about the topic. Go ahead.
I'm gonna speak on to which I was just talking about with that too. You know, that's why I said I'm trying to get away from that gender talk, but it's kind of going into relationship. We gotta, work to smooth everything out. Men gotta be a certain way, women gotta be a certain way. And I speak to both on my channel. I don't sit here and bash the women and not bash the men because everybody holds weight in this argument. But the point of it is I always say, what are we gonna do? Like, where's the building coming from? Where's the business from the Manosphere? Like, where's the guys communicating? I'm meeting up with Gold Professor this weekend. He's coming in from Cali. Me and Kane gonna meet up with him. I reach out to guys. I tell them, I encourage meeting up. You talk because I'm more civil. I don't sit up here and beef online. So when I actually meet up with someone in person, I'm not getting my head knocked up. Somebody come hit me upside the head because I'm cordial. I don't start beefs. I don't get into all that stuff. I said on one panel, between that Beasley and Angry Man, they have a beef with each other. I'm cool with both of them. I'm not gonna stop not watching Angry Man. I'm not gonna stop watching Beasley. I'm gonna watch both of them. If they got beef, that's between them. Me and you cool, and you don't want to be cool with me because I'm cool with him. That's the issue you got to deal with. Because when it come down to it, this space is supposed to be about black men building with each other, working with each other, and trying to, guide the youth or guide ourselves throughout the rough patches within the women have laid this pipeline out for us. Are we going to follow the yellow brick road or are we going to take the black road and start our own path? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's what we should focus on because mainly it's good to help them and everything. And sometimes the reason I appreciate Roger, the way he structured the panels and let females talk, but he don't let them interrupt and go crazy. And he has like a standard. Even Auntie, he does a little bit. He's getting better because I think he learned a lot from him and others, but you're different, because you don't have to be pro Manosphere, you get everybody a chance to get their thoughts out, and that's good too. Co-ed panels are very different because you don't know how it's gonna turn out, like you said, and I agree with that answer because most people, it depends on the host how he wants to handle it. I don't tell you how to do your channel, but if you want to deal with someone that's I'll say like a big name like JX. She likes to, I hate to saying like what Kuda said, she likes burning. She likes to go in burning houses and stuff. I said, that ain't true. Jessica just likes to debate and a little drama, but that's her, because I've noticed that in her own panels. But, but everybody's different. It's a personality thing and they want to have their little 2 cents in. But you as a host, you're doing good, for a co-ed panelist like Roger and our new stuff, you learn from them guys. They can help you out on that because they know what to do's and don'ts, but hey, that's you. And ain't nothing wrong with you, but don't let someone try to dictate your panel. I like what Bullet said to you. He said, People come and go, man. But who wants to speak? I saw Wacky's mic move. You want to speak on it, Wacky? Oh, he's on mute. Auntie, you want to say something? Because I
want to say something real quick.
Give me 1 second, fella.
Okay. She, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say something. With all the women coming to the panel, the biggest thing is they come up there with the premise of men wanting to shut them down. So by just letting them speak like Roger do, me and Roger, we talk behind the scenes, and I told him, I commend them. I said that's the biggest thing that you take from the women. Majority of the women know what men are going to be shutting them down, coming at them, and I always use the term pulling out the sword, because on every other panel, men come up there. If a woman say something wrong, they come up there straight with the disrespect, trying to cuss them out. Some of them they don't know. Some of them play like they don't know. But just letting them talk, most of the time they prove your case. If you trying to paint women in a certain picture, they prove their case by the way they talk. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. It can go either way, but as men, we can't just get in the screaming matches with them because they try to bait you 95% of the time. And I understand how they do it. They mess with certain dudes, and it's just like I had a discussion with. We talked about this with DS1 and others. They bait guys, and when they bait guys, that's how they get messed up. And I think Zero mentioned this in a interview with the Prophet of Thought series, like Brother X, and he said, "What makes them do that?" He said, "It's the sound of the woman's voice. Men just completely turn left. They think they stand on message, but they completely turn left when a female starts talking, like what she just addressed." I see this a lot on Rogers and others. I'm like, wow, but he's right in certain ways. But who else wants to speak? I see Wacky. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say something. But like I said, I don't care if a panel's co-ed, because a co-ed panel just means having a panel full of males and females speaking. My thing is the topics that people are speaking about. I always stated that, females have always been in this space. Females have always been, speaking of topics, but speaking in these spaces, speaking in these conversations. But what matters is what that person is saying, what each person is saying, whether male or female. What are you talking about? What do you bring to the conversation? What do you bring? What substance do you bring? What wisdom do you bring? What can we learn from what you're saying? And that's my whole thing. It's like with a lot of the current co-ed topics that I hear, it's just speaking on the same thing. Dating this, relationships that, dating this, dating that. And it's like okay, all of those talking points were used like 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When are we going to move forward?
Yeah,
when are we going to move forward? It's like that's my thing. Like me on my panel, it's order, man. It's order. I don't care who you are, what you are. We're gonna have order. I'm not gonna come and have a panel and that's strictly just talk about the same crap all day. Well, you chose to sleep with this man, you should choose better. Or well, you chose to sleep with this female, you should choose better. I'm like, God damn, why don't both y'all shut the fuck up? Choose that, but
yeah. But if y'all want to say
speaking
anything,
facts right there.
Yeah, go ahead, Auntie.
Yeah. Just no, that's the truth. Like, it's one thing to give you a perspective, but it just seems like everybody's got a need and a want to be right, all of the time, and that's why a lot of those conversations just don't go anywhere. And I just know from my own, what I'm saying, that's why I haven't been even up, what I'm saying, that much for a while, is because that shit is stressful. What I'm saying? It's stressful. You trying to control a conversation or trying to pivot a conversation where, what I'm saying, they're determined to take it somewhere else. I don't know if, it's like people are just feeding off a certain energy, and you see it on a lot of different channels. They might have 1 or 2 women up there, and then it's 10 dudes. When you can only have 10 people on the StreamYard panel anyway, you got 10 dudes in the chat box talking about drop the link, drop the link, drop the link. They can't wait to get up there and argue with a woman. And then you got even other spaces where, some dudes on the panel saying something that the women don't want to hear, and there are a bunch of women that just can't wait to just get up there and just curse them out, just for whatever reason, instead of just trying to talk to each other and come to some kind of understanding, which I thought that's what the panels were about. I didn't know it was just about all of that, but it's gonna be tough to grow. But just like what Wacky said, man. I mean, from what I know, and I haven't even been around the spaces that long, I would assume it's just like you said. It's always been women around, you know. So I was like, I don't see what the problem is now when a lot of people just act like, well, like it's their first date. Like
yeah, I agree, and a lot of it is like Rashawn said, or to be thirsty as well. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's a lot of broken dudes in all sectors, not just the manosphere, but outside the sphere. They do this stuff all the time. But see, in the sphere like this, with our aggression, man, women like all that stuff, but 9 out of 10, we get crazy and get emotional. That's why you got a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of simps and tricks here, but they promote it like it's cool, but it's not cool. It's like discreet. Now the gang guys, they do it bad as well. It's both of them bad. There is no intellectual stuff. Like what did Big J said? There's no intellectual heavy lifting. He said it best, and that's why you have these frivolous arguments and stuff like that. Now he's more pro co-ed himself. I see him coming to your channel. Shouts up to him anyway. He's more than welcome over here. But I'm just saying, it's the same conversation like Wax said. See, they've been in space longer and they tell you, man, we heard this stuff for decades. It's about time to move forward. And that's why I understand about Bishop's panel last night addressing the issue with Sandman, because he challenged the sphere and it put people on notice, and then they're still going back at it. So you know how it is, but it's just like around the summer. But anyone speak of the topic, because we're going to stick with it. With how these panels will turn out in the future for the younger generation, how they looking at us arguing, going crazy, or the ones that smart like are the new style getting ignored, or Roger. See, those two are better in me personally, because they're nice to listen to. We have a nice dialogue with the ladies on them too. And Go Professor, I forgot, Go P. There's 3. Those are the 3 I say they are better, but the rest of them is just
yeah. I like what like Gold Professor's doing. I know as far as Roger's concerned, I mean, I like the way he handles his format and everything, but because of the structure and the order that he runs it with, that kind of deters a lot away from the conversation. So it's not a bad thing, because you know what I'm saying, those that aren't looking for solutions really don't come over there.
Yeah.
But it's just like art and it is tough to get certain people involved. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, when you're too structured, because you know what I'm saying, I heard the same thing even when I just said, look, you know what I'm saying, this is the way it's going to be. I got a lot of pushback about letting JX on the panel, or letting this one on the panel, or that one on the panel. I just discussed that
early in the stream. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, everybody's welcome. Well, you shouldn't have let that person on. I'm like, you get a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? And like just for having structure, then I have somebody else that says, oh, you shouldn't really put too many rules on it. So
right.
Of course, they can't tell you how to run your thing, but at the same time, they'll still kind of stay away. So it's kind of like a medium, because you want your channel to grow, you want your channel to do well, but you also want to do the right thing too. I think I forgot who said it earlier. You know what I'm saying? You want like there are those of us like me, right? I got a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? I work for a living.
Right.
So,
Right. I said that earlier in the stream too. Yeah.
For real, you know what I'm saying? So like this shit isn't everything. Like I'll cut this shit off, man, and stay away from it for a minute. It's not that big a deal. I'm more so concerned with just doing the right thing.
Yeah, I did that years ago back in. Yeah. I did that years ago, man. Like before they had these formats, and I left it in 2014. I took a 6-year hiatus, not making content, but I was still around on YouTube, like you're saying, Auntie. It's good to get away to get your mind cleared, and I appreciate you doing that, because that shows you're going to grow even further. So but go ahead and finish your point. I didn't mean to cut you off. So yeah. No,
you good. No, but I was just saying, I'm like, for those of us that are just trying to do the right thing, like, you're just trying to do your part. You know what I'm saying? And just like Wacky said, you know what I'm saying, open up the right conversations. I know she every time she can add something to the convo, he does, and it's always on something positive. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I've seen. and then there are certain times that he can get attacked, you know, for just
Mm.
trying to derail what's like a frivolous debate. You know, I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with the same thing, and I can see why some people just stay away from it. As far as like the future of panels and stuff, you know, just like y'all said, the dating thing. As far as the younger generation, I think it's just going to turn into like a big interactive dating website. Like that's what the fuck Black YouTube is going to be.
Yeah, yeah, it
You know,
is. It
with
is
the way
sad to say, but
page the
yeah,
panels are going now. You know, that's what co-ed panels are going to become. You
yeah.
know?
New said that on my panel a couple of streams back. He said it's already, yeah, New, it is, but it ain't officially when they start flooding them in the near future. And then the space will be kind of lost. And I think Zero was panicking about that last year, talking about that. And I shook my head. So Zero, it's not even there yet. But when he did that interview with the Prophet of Thought series, when the man hears a woman's voice, yeah, I would say it's too far gone at this point. But I mean, some people say it's hope for the best, you know.
I mean,
You know,
I stay. Let me say something. I'm sorry. I stated this in one of my videos a couple of months ago, and I'm still sticking to it. What you find when it comes to the future of this space is that, and it's already happening, is that it's split into two groups. One group is just all about entertainment, and another group is about productivity and advancement. So that's what you're going to see. Well, once again, that's what we're already seeing, where we have a sector within, well, a subsector within this sector of YouTube who just come in here just wanting to be entertained. Thus, they gravitate towards channels that will satisfy their, you know, their entertainment buzz. But then you have another subsector where people come to really seek enlightenment and to really trying to spark conversations, spark thoughts, and utilize that as some sort of think tank in order to bring in progress amongst black males and so-called black people. And you got people who are interested in that, or people who are interested in that, gravitate towards channels that speak about these things. So that's what I see. I see the shift in the future. You know,
Yeah. I mean, my channels is like this channel is like a required taste for anyone. I mean, I'm not big on the relationship topics, and it's just like what Tasi said. He said the same thing. I can't do that because that's a money grab. The reason I subscribe to him, he talks about the crypto, and he tries to. I'm not defending the space. What he said last night, I am not defending the space no more with the situations going on. And you know, shouts out to him and he stand on what he stand on. I do too. We all have different views on the other individual like KS and whatever. But what he was saying is I can't defend the mess that's in it. You see it from every content creator. Everybody is because they have their own viewpoint. And what Wacky said, it's already here. So I'm not tripping and worried, but I guess that's what YouTube wants to shut the black man up. But our message is going to spread across all social media. So it ain't like just one medium. There's other websites. Like Soul and Black said, there's Rumble. There's a new one called Vocal by this former Republican guy he created, you know, and he said that's going to be a thing, you know, in the future. You know, we'll see how they going to grow because YouTube may not last forever. I'm just saying, you know, that's just one outlet. But anybody else want to speak? Go ahead, She.
Yeah, I want to. I always push this, and I talk about this. You know, I'm on the side of the knowledge, entertainment, because most of the time I look at some channels as love and hip hop. We come here for the drama, seeing who beefing with each other, you know, and like I ain't gonna do it, but when it come down
Go
to
ahead,
it,
go ahead, go
you
ahead, go
got
ahead, go
guys.
ahead,
go
go ahead,
ahead,
go ahead,
go ahead, say
go
that,
ahead.
say that.
Hey man, you got dudes that like I said, I talk to certain guys and I say I'm not gonna say certain names, but when it come down to it, you got guys that do like 3, 4 streams on how women are so bad. I always call it struggle bond. Guys on here struggle bonding with each other. Excuse me, but they struggle bond because I've been hurt, you've been hurt. Let's team up together and let's join this ultra hurt group. Like, dude, you hurt, help him to heal. he helped the next, and go forth and so forth. Guys are sitting up here making money off of, the pain. It ain't even that much pain. Some guys, they know that they ain't been through that much of a ordeal. You got a girl dump you in 12th grade. You still holding this gripe over the 12th grade, and you 46 years old.
Word.
Like,
Word,
come on,
man.
man. You doing like 3 videos a day, 5, 10, whatever videos about black women this, black women that. Let's start listening to these videos. I push it out there. I say, if you're gonna do 2 videos about black women ain't nothing, let's do one video on how economics, where you show black men how to make money. If we're gonna do 2 videos about black women ain't nothing, let's show 2 videos on how to live as a single man. You know, I always speak on the training because that's what we fall short at. A lot of people don't have the training how to live, towards
Mm-hmm.
life. And that's
Yeah.
the issue that we have going in every generation. Certain generations haven't been taught this. You don't have fathers. I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad passed, but I had uncles, I had coaches, I had men in the community, church, whomever. They gave me a little game here and there. Like I said, I was wilding like early years between like 20 and like 2021. I was always going to the club trying to smash everything. But after I hit that 21 mark, I was like, a dude, he was like, man, you want to go ahead and settle down and try to catch you some. I'm like, man, whatever. I'm out here doing it. Even when I got to the point, I was like 23, 24, and what I'm saying, like, I got introduced to my wife. My cousin was like, do you want to be the 40, 50-year-old dude at the club, still getting it in, jumping with the throwback jerseys on? Or do you want to be the man that's old and you got a woman over here wiping your ass because, you know, you, you got somebody that can be there for you? Like, I push this. If you're going to get married, get married. This is what you need to be married. If you're going to be single, you're not dealing with no chicks, you still gonna need money. You still gonna need life insurance because you're not pushing debt to the next generation, and you still gonna have to live life to where you have hospice when you get old, somebody come take care of you. You're gonna need a good job, good insurance. See, guys are telling you, forget the women, walk away from the table, but no one's telling you the after effects, like the issue of not dealing with a woman. You're gonna have to do some, your hands gonna be strong, because
Insanity.
you still got that need. You got that need. It's not there, but the point of it is, can you avert from that need? And if you do, you go pay for it and do what you do. I'm all good with that. I'm not judging nobody, but the point of it is, I'm not gonna tell young men to walk away from the table, and I didn't do that. I'm not gonna tell young men don't mess with no women, and I didn't do that. I'm gonna tell you live responsibly. These are the things you're gonna need. This is what's gonna help you. If it helps, good. If it's not, like, I'm failing you. Because as a man, old as I am, 38 years old, I'm about to be 39 this year.
Oh, he dropped off.
So
Okay.
what happened?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
dropped off.
with the not deal with the woman argument, you have to look at the context when the context of what people are speaking about when they tell brothers to not deal with a female. Most brothers in the space who speaks on that, are a lot of them really saying don't deal with uncultured females because in the long
Right,
run,
right, right,
the
right.
uncultured females will destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But
So true.
Uh-huh.
even when it comes to brothers that state that don't don't get don't get the state sponsored westernized type of marriage, don't get yourself involved in that. There's a reason to that. There's there's so much history behind that, because what happens is that due to a lot of the divorce laws concerning child support, alimony, when it comes to child custody, it's not in the man's benefit. Unfortunately, when we speak about legalized or state-sponsored marriage in the United States, so what brothers is telling you, what brothers are saying when they tell younger brothers to not deal with females, they're not just saying just to not deal with females at all. They're saying that don't put yourself in a position where the female could take you for all of what you've worked hard for.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what they're saying. They're saying to dodge that. But that's all I have to say on that.
Right. And that's exactly what Wacky's saying. Uncultured females that ain't really cultured to your true self. But sometimes, that's very true. And a lot of people, it's a little complaints and they complain about them. It goes to Wacky's point. You should stop complaining. That's your choice. You lay down with that and you made that uncultured female is your pick or your wife. That's your fault, and it's just like what Roger said. It's your fault. If you mess with them, that's on you, man. I don't complain about that because I ignore them in like a plague sometimes. And, I give them a look sometimes. And sometimes I don't even mess with them. If they reject me off that, I don't even care. I just laugh it off. But that's what you do. Even the ones that's attractive, but if she has an uncultured mind, that's engineered by society. Yeah, it's dangerous, because, but you got to learn how to pick your poison, whatever. But, I don't rush into these things like that. Like, that's how they get down. But if they want that decision, that's their life. I don't judge another man what he does with whatever, but I'm just saying in his mind has to be clear too, And yeah, Wacky made a fair point. But go ahead, Rashawn. I know you've been waiting the longest. You got anything?
Yeah, man. The only thing I gotta say, some of these dudes need to go outside and get their meat wet. Like, real talk.
It's a big risk. Yeah, it's a big risk.
You know what I mean? Because, like, with all this, oh man, like, and like we all said, man, we've been in this space, either watching from the clouds or beneath the surface, and seeing how the dynamics shifted throughout the years. And yeah, man, and and when people need to read clearly when brothers are saying do not deal with females. And like Sir said, we're not saying don't deal with them, but we're saying don't deal with an uncultured woman.
Right.
Because one day you're gonna burn. And get yourself in a slippery fucking slope. Like all that looks and shit, yeah, that's cool. But if she doesn't have a cultivated mind, yeah, man.
Yeah. And that's why I kind of preach on any side of the sphere, man. Like if her mind's not right and if she ain't got no substance, it's the quality of what you want. And that's what brothers want. They want the quality of the female. And that's or the woman, my fault, quality women. And it's kind of hard to find that because a lot of them are damaged or ran through whatever. Brothers are picky and there's nothing wrong with that. You pick about a woman you want that has quality. Yeah, you can find one. It's just going to be hard. It's the mindset too. And that's another thing you got to deal with. But, Wacky, you was about to say something or anyone to say something on the topic? Because, I don't want to be long-winded.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, hold on, let me pause this game for me. What the? I'm trying to pause this shit. Oh, well, anyway, right? Yeah. I was playing some NBA 2K while I'm speaking to y'all, so yeah. But the thing is that also, okay, Rashawn said a lot of these brothers in the space need to get their stuff wet. I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. I respect Rashawn's opinion, respect to the brother, you know what I'm saying? But what I think that a lot of brothers in space really need is to develop a true moral compass. Because when you listen to a lot of the black males in the panels, when you listen to what they say, you could tell that they don't truly have a moral compass. Because when they speak about these types of topics, even in regards to dating, right, they speak about it from a very shallow-minded point of view. Like for example, when they speak about the issues with so-called black females, and you see Sir Obadiah, he put emphasis on finding a quality woman, how brothers don't have brother. There's not enough quality women that are created in the society because a lot of the females in the society are just socially engineered to be the opposite of that, right? And what I'm seeing a lot of the times in this space is that we don't talk about that a lot. What a lot of brothers do is just complain about the type of males that the black female choose to sleep with. You know, the type of males that black females choose to have children with. You know, how the black female look, how much she weighs, what she puts on top of her head. You know, oh yeah, how come she wears a bonnet? You know, this whole thing this past week about Monique speaking about females wearing bonnets and so many people making videos about that old dumb shit, right? But they're not even getting into the meat and crux of this problem, because the meat and crux of this problem when it comes to the bad decisions that females make when they choose to mate, it all deals with their psychology. And their psychology comes from their social conditioning or their social engineering in the society. So of course, if a female have been socially engineered to be anything outside of being a quality woman, of course she's going to choose to sleep around with the wrong types of males. That's what she was conditioned to do. Of course she's going to have children with Pookies and Ray Rays. If she's been socially engineered this way, that's what she's going to do. So we have to really attack the social engineering. And a lot of people is not talking about it. A lot of people are really just complaining about the end result of what females are socially engineered, or how females are socially engineered to be. And a lot of times the reason why they focus on that is because these males are without substance. A lot of the males, not all the males, but a lot of the males in this space are without substance. So when they are without substance, they don't think that deep. They don't think that deep. And to have that substance and to think deep and to have that wisdom, you have to have some sort of moral compass. You have to have some level of being morally grounded. You can't have, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that, then you ain't really got much. And a lot of these males are not truly grounded in some level of morality. They're not. But y'all go ahead. Y'all got the floor.
Yeah, like you said, moral compasses and substance I hear on different platforms. See, when I subscribe to individuals, if it's entertainment or not, I observe what they're thinking. That's like my job. That's one thing I can say about social networks, social media. I've been doing this for years, since I was younger. I observe people's minds, even in the real world, when I'm traveling, whatever. That stuff is very, very anti-drug. That stuff is very is real, man. Like, substance is key, and moral compass, like what he just said, the brother just said. It's a good thing. You just gotta have that, you know. I mean, a lot of people say what morals, but yeah, that's his opinion. But I'm just saying, you gotta have that. But if your substance ain't right about yourself, and if you're not making the right decisions, because a lot of dudes make a lot of mistakes, and I know they do that because they're programmed to. So, you know, and they can't just sit there whine a lot about a lot of things. Like, some things you got to think yourself out of it. And the big thing I can say is, you got to make yourself right before you do anything, even in relationships or whatever you do, or to be the best person you can be in life or whatever, or existence. I mean, excuse me, because we're in existence, but life is like, you know, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, like, that's what you need. But that compass comes from within. You got to have the confidence of doing things and get along with others and yourself. And then mainly, I learned that on the job too, and learned about myself, how to deal with others. And it took me years to get to where I'm at today now. But yeah, man, because when I hear these conversations, they talk about the same old stuff. There's something going on in their life. It can be job, it can be anything. But they come here just for strife, and sometimes it's like a turmoil. You know, I ain't gonna say it's like, oh, it's red pill raging. No, it's just you, man. Something wrong with there. Like I said, the last stream is clickbaiting, a form of clout chasing. I said yes, and they all do need therapy. I've heard this a lot in different spaces, like gold professors and others. Even I hate to say platinum. He mentioned it one time. He said these dudes complain about women. I wish I was going to the panel and talk to him. I said, nah, he likes the effery. but I let them fall. You know, I observe what people are saying, you know, because they're realizing, and these dudes, I said, yeah. And you know how many times we've been saying it for years and years upon years. I had my share of therapy years ago when I was younger, when I lost my grandmother, and that was a long time ago. And I recovered from that at 23, and then I had this red pill explosion. You know, I was on my thing back then, you know, but when I left the space in 2014, trying to find a job and structure my life, I did that. You know, I was trying to see what I was going to do. Like, this is in my 20s, you know, after I left my girl at 21. So, yeah, it was a lot of changes. And I told Brownsburg, man, just stick with what you know, and then, you know, she'll come if you want a relationship or not. But if not, you know, you be yourself as a man. You know, I'm not ashamed for it. Just be that person. You know, stand on your own square. But I'm just saying, like, you know, just be successful what you can do in life. Because what I try to do this channel is have a well-balanced conversation. You just try to be better than you can be. But yeah, man. Because a lot of men got poor substance on here, you know, and they just listen to the wrong stuff. And I think it's addicting to them. They're numb to it. I've seen this before. And I try not to save all of them. I save only a handful that want to listen. You know what I mean? Because I try to draw them over here, and we can talk about different things what we want to talk about. You know what I mean? I don't mind building with brothers. You know, I did that with Just DeAndre, like a 12-hour stream with Recruiters. We was talking about a lot of different things, sports, everything, esoteric stuff. He was in the Navy. He was in Japan, talking about how people think. You know, and he deals with news, a lot of stuff, different topics. You know, I like brothers like that. And I see at CJ3, he talks about Charles, was it Gilmore III? He's talking about a lot of different things. So yeah, he's a good brother to listen to. It's a lot of art. Another one, he deals with art, you know, art and new style. And the other one does as well, more. They talk about different things. But that's just the thing, man. Who's in the back channel? Peace, sir. Thanks for having me up. Oh, not a problem, man. T. Salute. You're welcome anytime. But I'm just saying, man. Yeah, man. It's just like I just want to make this topic, you know, very clear. You know what I observe. You know, I observe these co-edit panels and fisticuffs and crazy. And then just like I said about the males, they just need to stay calm when a female comes and talk to you a certain way, no matter if it's disrespectful or not. You know, men supposed to have like little manners and things like that, because I know that's like the new style in the future. But these dudes be breaking their square, man. It is kind of funny, but it's kind of sad at the same time, because you know you don't know what they're going through. So you know,
shit. I could say from experience being on Platinum's panel.
yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Let me give an example of what somebody I was speaking about when he mentioned that, you know, when females come on the panel and the males speak, the males get all out of order, right? It's like, okay, I was on. This happened maybe a good year, 2 years ago. I was on one of Rudep's live streams, right?
Right.
And the topic was about colorism. So, it was a co-ed. It was a co-ed panel. It was, you know, of course, Rudep, myself, I think two so-called black females and a couple of black males, right? So I gave my perspective on colorism and how I think it's hypocritical and what have you. Now, for some reason, the conversation shifted because one of the females was talking about what type of guy she likes, right? And then she turned around, she said, well, I like my men with big dicks and big wallets, right? And then she left the panel. So
wow.
Do you know that the males that was still in the panel was complaining about the fact that she said she liked males with big dicks and big wallets?
Wow.
And they was like, you see what she said? See, she said she liked men with big dicks, big wallets. Oh man, blah 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 blah. Wah. And I got quiet. I got quiet right afterwards because I couldn't believe what I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, she's saying something that's not even new, that's not even unique. You know, she's not saying anything new from what most females talk about. Like, what is there to be complained about? What she likes? God damn. You get what I'm saying? They went out, They went outside of their square and just started complaining. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I have been seeing a lot in this space, where males complain about what females like in a man, and they end up acting like little fucking babies and shit. I'm like, you're complaining over what a total stranger finds attractive. You're that insecure, but it's like their insecurity comes out, you know, because, but like I said before, it stems from partially from a lot of males not being being grounded, not having that moral compass in them. Because the thing is, part of having the moral compass inside of you is you have self-discipline. You know, a truly moral person have a level of self-discipline. So when you have a level of self-discipline, you're not going to let some stuff like that get to you. And it shouldn't get to you either way. I don't care how big or small your level of self-discipline is. Something like what that female said shouldn't make any male upset.
Absolutely.
Unless if you know, unless if you're not confident about what you got. But pause on that, because I pause on that. I'm
pause, long pause. Yeah, go ahead.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's sad, you know, and I, not just to go on any panels, I have to observe the males, man, the men, man, like y'all can't be acting up when they try to challenge you on points. It could be a logical conversation when they try to talk to males, not just the sexual and the relationship part, but we're talking about like Wacky's correct, yeah, that too, and a combination of a lot of things, even if it's logical, right, and if they're somewhat trolling you, right. You have to have a calmness about you if she don't mess with you or not. That's a test too. It's a lot of tests. And I see it a lot. Even on I hate to say on Kuda's panels. And Kuda, it's sometime he got out of character by mistake, but he was talking to Bomb and they was talking about feminism, right? And him and what you call it, PC Anime, remember Sean? And the way he handled it, he tried to tell them to be quiet about certain things because they have a little bias. And that's what I was talking about. You know, Kuda didn't have to fall for that. And then J Speed OG was trying to tell him, he said, when I was your age, I got out of those conversations. And this is an elder, right? And he's trying to tell him, I got away from that. And the way he said it, and now look back at that stream, I said, he's absolutely right. I saw the replay of that stream before he had the Jesse Lee Peterson, thanks to Fighter, shout out to him with that avatar. And I told him turn into that. And then when we, Lord behold, with the slut walk, we started shaking our head about the feminism. He said, "Are you a slut?"
Yeah. A lot of dudes got clowned that year. A lot of rap dudes got clowned.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like that situation in the beginning of that stream, and and Kuda was out of character for a moment, but that's how those women get to you, man. But that's what happens, and he tried to do that on his channel, and I've noticed he's big for that. Yeah, man, it ain't easy. And I can tell, I say, if women are your biggest subscribers, man, that's a tough task. I couldn't do that. And I told him that on the panel. I said, I couldn't do that. I know I'm strict with my voice, most of them are intimidated by me. And that's a great thing. I'm good. I have no issues over here. You know what I mean? I've talked to, what's the name, Queen. She came in my chat when I did a self live stream. It was her and what's called Cat that got drunk on his stream, like on that third shift. It was in the afternoon. Man. Yeah. She came over when I did self live stream. I told her salute, man. Like, hey, but half of them are intimidated to get on the panel. But that's okay, because they know who's intimidating, who's not, And I look at things like that. I look at all angles how we act. I stay out of it most of the time. I just let them all right, let's see where this is going to go. But that's the whole purpose of this stream. Like, is it necessary to make it like the future? Because that's what they're trying to promote on YouTube. But to me, I don't care for co-ed panels or not or whatever. Like Wacky said, I agree with him on that point because it depends on the person of both genders. It's their character. In the day, I look at it's the substance of the topic, what they talking about. Now, if they're trying to help us as Black men collectively, yes. If not, they up to something, man. It's one of those things. Oh, you got down sheet. Yeah, he said that. He said that earlier. Okay. Yeah, it's it's lighting in the chat because I had 6 and 7 earlier. Why I didn't drop the link? that's a record. I had some viewers. That's great. And I'm gonna get a lot of replays after this because I don't know who's watching. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things, man. But y'all want to say something on the topic? Because I ain't gonna wrap it up. I got another hour in me or two.
Man. Future of the Manosphere. Shit. Just gotta sit back and relax and watch the movie.
Yeah.
How this shit turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Cause man, I don't know. Cause this summer may turn into a shit show.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Popcorn ready.
Yeah, get your popcorn, get your snacks.
It's always a shit. It's always a shit. It's always a shit.
Go ahead,
it's always a shit show every summer because you have to realize is that a lot of these content creators are in need of this YouTube donation money and of this Cash App money. So they're desperate to do anything it takes to attract a lot of viewership. And what is it? And what does that? Drama. Because drama sells. So and let me tell you something. Don't be surprised if a lot of the drama you hear in the Manosphere is scripted. Don't be surprised if you hear people call each other behind closed doors. I'm speaking about the content creators in the space. Don't be surprised if they call each other behind closed doors and tell each other, hey, listen, I'll make a video and I say this, you make a video and you say that, and then, we'll act as if we're beefing and we're going to have a lot of viewers. You're going to have a lot of subscribers. We're going to have a lot of money. So we'll split this money 50-50. Yeah. Don't be surprised.
I won't be surprised.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I always thought about that because it's funny.
Yeah. You know what? It's like,
Because let me tell you something. Isn't it funny that that you have several content creators? Yeah, back chat warriors. Yeah, we have several. Isn't it funny how you have several content creators in this space who claim to be cool with each other on one hand, then they act as if they're complete enemies towards each other, but then they go right back to being on each other's panel, speaking to each other like nothing happened. It's like, hold on, though. This is some flip-flopping shit.
Yeah. I'm not gonna mention no names on this space. I know who they are. I have problems with, and same with Obsidian. He's one I'm gonna mention, and others. It goes on both sides with the game versus not. It's ridiculous, and they do this shit. And then I hate to say it, a lot of that shit scripted, and I'm glad Hammer got taken down. I blame him for all this shit, and I agree with Kuda on that. That's some fuckery. And really, Angry Man Obsidian don't really like each other. And O'Shea, it's three guys beefing with each other 2.0. And that's it. It's a turmoil. It's a civil war. One has a manifesto. One wants KS. And the other one wants to side with them idiots over there with Sandman and them trying to come at us sideways. And I'm like, look at that. I'm like, it's a shit show. Man, and then you got Platinum over there. And then you got Platinum over there making like Jerry Springer over there. I'm like, Platinum, come on, man. Got David Johnson and Bomb Cherry going at it. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh man,
that's a shit show. That's a shit show.
Yeah, a lot of craziness going on, man. A lot of craziness.
A lot of love and hip hop fuckery. You ask me.
Like she said, yeah. Yeah, he got taken down, man, for those views, man. You can't be buying views like that. They had to check him. Shouts out to JX for that. The big homie, like Kuda said. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hammer got taken down?
Yeah, for them views, man. Stealing views and stuff. YouTube don't be playing that. Even with the subscribe, they let you slide on the subscribers part, but that views part, that messes with their data, man. That messes with their data money. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. They learn a valuable lesson. Yeah.
Don't mess with YouTube.
Not to laugh at him, but whatever money he paid for just went down the drain.
Now that's something to laugh about.
It's like damn. Yeah.
Like that block shot from Phoenix from Craig.
Yo, but come on, man. Let's not go on. We can't be doing that. But at the same time, this is what happens when this space is so focused on concentrating on how many viewers a content creator has instead of just focusing on making quality content with a quality message behind it. You know, when people just focus on just having a large amount of views or a large amount of subscribers, then you end up doing what Hammer did, which is not good. But then again, it all goes back, like I said before, to a lack of a moral compass. Because if you have some sort of moral compass about you, you have too much integrity to do something like that. Trying to buy fake subscribers, trying to buy fake views in order to give a fake perception about your channel. A person who truly has some sort of moral compass is not about that fake shit. You know, it's you know, you got to have some sort of moral compass about you, have some sort of discipline, some sort of integrity about you. You know, because if you do that, you wouldn't. If you have these things within your character, you won't end up resorting to doing things that Hammer did. And you know, I'm not trying to bash Hammer. Hammer's 19 years old; he's young. But I'm just saying, I hope he learns from that. You got to have more integrity with yourself than to sit there and buy fake subscribers, thus giving a fake image about your channel. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
And Ty City covered too. He said that's what Zillennials is coming with, buying views and you know, because subscribers, they let it slide. When I remember when he started that shit in 2012, and I shook my head. I'm like, come on, man. Oh, shouts out to Absalom Bianchi. Salute, brother. But it's sad, but that's what Zillennials come with nowadays. Even they do this on Twitter, Instagram for years, and I shook my head. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then YouTube restricts you from buying viewers anyway. That's how you get flagged. It's plenty ways to get flagged on YouTube. Like, yeah, they'll put a hit list on you, you know. And then Big J said there was a hit list on somebody in these spaces, but I don't know if he saw it. They probably took it down. You know, Pink Pill's weird like that. That's how they got GC with certain things and stuff like that. But it's weird, man. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You know, they done, and I think Crystal Swirl's got a new name now. She calls herself something. I just shook my ass. Oh Lord, got a new name now. She ain't go by that no more. I forget what it's called, but
she got a new identity.
Yeah, you know how it is. They scared in the hiring, and yeah, faking the funk and will get you nowhere in the long run. Exactly, facts. I agree with that. Yeah, he's shouting out salute. Yeah, Absalom came on the panel once and we was talking about the Sapio stuff, and I gave him some information. He shouted me out on the video with the Sapio thing too. I saluted him in the comments. It was a pre-record, you know, but shouts out to the brother. But you know, it's a regular here. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Just like the topic, like I said in the sphere, like it goes right back to co-ed and all that stuff, man. And yeah, and I just got 10 likes. Appreciate y'all. But you know, yeah, share the stream, y'all. But I'm just saying, I'm over 2 hours. I can still go another hour or two, but because how long y'all want to go. But it's just what I'm saying, man. Like, y'all can't be getting emotional about buying views, worrying about these things out here, these females, these women out here screaming at you, yelling. I dodge all that drama stuff, man. I laugh at Platinum stuff because it's entertainment. That's just to pick people's brains and see who's in the chat. 95% of the times I'm trolling the chat, and sometimes I'm listening to the nonsense they talk about, men being depressed. No, it's good. It's good leisure. Then I have my phone, right? I have my Chromebook. Then I have my phone, listen to Roger, right? See what he's talking about. Then I ignore Platinum, just intentionally ignore, right? Mm-hmm. And Roger be talking about something similar to that, but then they have solutions and they tell each other how to do things, and and then that's just what it is. And it's great, man. And it's great. And it's just like I had to learn something. Like, you have to do what you have to do. And same with Kudos, man. I observe people on the panel who they act up, and the women too, and sometimes who I'm interacting. But that beach woman is wild, though. I have to say, yeah, she's cool though, but she's wild though. She don't act like most of these females, even though she does a little provocative stuff. But I'm numb to it. I'm numb to it. It don't bother me. She's older. I ain't chasing after her, so don't get it twisted. She's all right. But she be testing dudes too. They all do. And Celeste. But that trolling with the stoves, though, that was funny with Big J. And he said, I had a great time, man. You know, that's the first time I seen him, heard him laugh. You know, that's cool, man. You know, he had some little trolling in him. But, you know, we was on topic on gear. You know, we went off topic, though. You know, it was so far fortunate. Yeah, that was a fun stream. But my favorite third shift, I would say, will be Just DeAndre. That one with the credit, that's my favorite stream because we talked when Kuda's Wi-Fi was messing up. He said, you know, y'all hold it down. Yeah, y'all hold it down. And then you was up there and then Fasting. Him and Fasting got at it. You know, Fasting's a fool anyway. He said, and what did Kuda say? He said, I got to get that clip from War Master. He said, white supremacy is life. I'm like, what the fuck? This hammerhead ass.
Like, where this fool come? Like, whose man's is this?
Yeah, it news over here trolling. Oh man,
if this nigga don't get his trolling ass the fuck up out of here.
Not a problem, Epsilon. Yeah, I'll send you more leaks more often. But yeah, man, it's just wild, man. I laugh at stuff like that, and I'm a well balanced person. I'm more personal with this channel. You know, I give you a little knowledge here and there. I can be fun. I'm more diverse in my mind anywhere. So yeah, I try to be. I spread my content around. Listen to different people too. That's a good thing too for Bronzeberry if he's listening. But that helps you as well. You don't have to be a one trick pony like certain individuals have a troll live stream a lot. You know, that Bates Brothers into debates with the atheist talk, but I know he doesn't like magic. I understand, you know, the 5% perspective, but he's really talking about religion as a whole. You know, Zero ain't no fool. He's smart. He likes to bait guys into debates, and I said, man, I'm not gonna get on the panel with this because I already know what he's gonna talk about. I've heard this stuff decades ago. I mean, he's cool and all, but that debate with him and Wacky, what he talking about the Rwanda thing, that had me dying. Like, what? Typical Zero shit, man. But I know that's how he rolled, man. With the Rwanda thing, and you met the guy. It's just what you told me, man. I knew Zero was gonna go left field with it. You know.
Did you actually hear that debate? Did you take the time to hear
I didn't hear it, but I heard what you meant by, because I know what Zero does. He likes to bait people in these debates. I'm like, I think Padat says as well. He got in a debate with Padat about the same thing. I'm like, come on, man. This is what Zero does, man. Y'all gotta learn. He's just trolling y'all. That's what he do. That's what he do, man. I mean,
yeah, he be trolling, but you know but the thing is, what's so funny is that people believe what the fuck he says.
Yeah,
people believe that shit. So sometimes you have to give it some pushback because people would believe that shit. I'm like, God, then if you're gonna think that ethnic genocide happened over some damn poo-tang. That dude, I feel bad for you, but yeah, he be showing, he be baiting though. He be baiting.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, Platinum do the same thing with the marriage thing. He'll use the Manosphere talking points, right? But Bait Brothers about certain dudes is this and that. You know, I don't get into simp arguments and stuff, but did he? It's a story about the guy cheating on the wife, right? The wife wants the guy, right? And then the guy banging on the door. He did that noise. I shook my head. He's baiting guys. He said, nah. And other guys give him pushback, right? He said, I would kill that guy. No, what happened if the guy has a gun in the house eating the fruit snack stuff? I shook my head. I was like, Platinum, what are you doing, man? That can go either way. Telling that lie on that board, trying to tell Fighter. He said, no. He said, get your F on. Get your fuck on. Getting killed, right? And then he said, if you have a gun, here's what Fighting said. He said, I'm butt naked, pause, right? And he said, I ain't got no gun in the car. He's talking about a shorty, right? He said, I ain't in no situation but cheating on the husband, you know, like adultery. That's like, Fighter, you got to, you said the right answer. Platt just trolling you, man. He's baiting you to, you know, mess with your head. Kind of like, what you call it, what Zero does. I'm like, come on, man. These dudes be trolling. But it's the stuff like that I'm talking about. Like, man, don't fall for the bait. That's what women do. You got Bomb and all them doing that. Platinum be killing me with this. He changed dude's mind real quick. Yeah, that's what they do, man. Like, you got to be careful with that. But he's smooth with it. Yeah, that's what they do. And I try not to have the panels like that because, you know, brothers get agitated. The innocent example. Then the females pick up on it and say, hey, I got him. I got you. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, like Platinum is like a sly fox.
Facts.
Oh,
Like he's a sly fox. Like you have to like pay attention, like how he word things. And that's the most important part. Like niggas just like answer it, but that like they don't pay attention to what he is like saying.
You see this right here? As a man, you have to stick to your script. Why can talk about scripts like they writing scripts on your chest? Oh man.
You goddamn right. Niggas do need to stick to their script, especially on Platinum's platform. Or any
But
platform.
Shaka, I mean, knew he be trolling sometimes because I understand he base brothers, but Zero's my boy, man. But I know what you be doing, man. But I know he wasn't trolling that day, but Zero, come on, man. We know you, man.
hold on. He had to be trolling that day, man. Yeah, Shaka Nulu was on the panel on that day. It had to be trolling. I wish he was trolling. He couldn't be serious. I mean, he's smart. Zero's smart. So I take nothing away from Zero.
Yeah, win or lose,
that,
like okay, go ahead.
Day, no, that's all right. You good. That day, he had to be trolling, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. Win or lose, whether they like it or not. Yes, referring to his point as stick to your gun. Yeah, win or lose. Yeah, you have to. That's any panel, you know. Because if you say you're a man and stuff, or man stuff, all right. You got to stick to your guns and your beliefs, man. Like people are testing you, and that's a good thing. I like stuff like that, even if it's co-ed or not. But like I said with the topic earlier, is it helpful? What you getting out of it? You know, but the thing is, I would say this. When you're getting tested like that with these individuals, and that's the whole purpose of it. So, you know, yeah. Well, go ahead, Shay. You want to say something?
Nah, man. I mean, it's funny, man. Platinum. Yeah, well, Platinum, the way he does it, man, because I was on there one time, and he was basically telling me, he was like, yeah, so if a woman, she got a girl, you know, that she want to explore with her, it's cool if, you know, she explore, you know, you just be a man and you let her do her thing and you don't interrupt. And I'm like, a girlfriend? He's like, nah, your wife. I'm like, nah, we not doing that. He's like, nah. He's like, those women. He's like, women do what they do. Like he had guys convincing them to say, you let your woman cheat on you, let your woman have another woman, and you don't participate or nothing. You can look, but you can't touch. I was like, are you serious, Platinum?
That's what I'm talking about. You know exactly what
you're doing. That's cuckolding. What the fuck?
And them guys was like, yeah, I see that, man. Yeah, them women. I ain't gonna get in women business. Women business, that's your wife.
That's like, your wife,
no.
What?
I was like, Platinum, is you serious? I'm like, he's like, what? And when he hit you with that, what you talking about? What am I doing? I was like, come on. I was like, all right, bro. I'm gonna let you have it. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do what you do, but
like you slide motherfucker, like you don't think you're slick. I know what you're doing.
He baiting people on there. They like, yeah, he right. Yeah, those are women. I'm like, dang, man, he got you too.
He did that with the Fresh and Fit, but you know he did that. I call him Fresh and Fruit in the chat. People started laughing when I was calling it. I got that from a certain individual like DS1. That's what we call them, and they didn't do nothing. They act a little professional. I mean, they had a good critique, and of course they had Steve the Deed on there. But when Bomb came up on the panel, she just wanted to derail it and said, "Nah, I don't want to hear this. I'm just going to defend the ratchetness." But that's what Platt does. He baits people that deal with that, like what we said earlier in the stream, like the entertainment part, that's how he gets them. And then the females get mad at him. Like he said, what he said? They get mad at me because I'm defending the men. And then he said, I just can't win. Well, look at your platform, man. Like, what do you expect? They're going to come at your head like that. They're going to come at your head like that. That's part of the game. If you have a platform that's based off effery, man, and entertainment, man, they need to be entertained. That goes for both genders. And like black people, you know how we get down. It's just like in a barbershop. If someone throws a shot, I'm going to talk about this Friday too, about the roasting. Roasting is okay with me. As long as they have some go at the talking points, or you can go at his face. That's fine. We cam up. That's cool. I'm okay with that. But I ain't gonna be complaining about if you can't out roast him. Like Edward, man, come on, man, let that go. If you can't roast, if you want to start something, like I see it a lot on Art and New Stuff, but motherfuckers have a right to roast you. The way you sound, whatever, they're gonna get at you. I've been roasted a few times. Let me tell you something. I've been roasted my lifetime in school and dealt with it and roast back. And I learned it the easy way to counter back. And that's what I did growing up. Even then, I joke on people. They joke back at me about certain things. But, it's cool. Even in the chat, roasting is acceptable in the space. That's how you critique people. And that's part of the spirit as well. It's very welcome. If they roast me, say something bad about me, I'm going to throw shots back. I ain't going to change. Only thing I'm changing is I ain't gonna beef with people over it. I'm just gonna walk away and say, "Look, I'm good." Mm-hmm. That's just part of it. I'm gonna discuss that on Friday. I didn't like what EA said about that. No, don't get rid of roasting. You just can't roast, man. You just can't hang. That's all that's saying. I'm gonna address that. I'm gonna see who's gonna come in that stream. Yeah. You got to take criticism, man. And even that, it helps you grow too. Sometimes roasting through, it builds character too. It helped me when I was young, when I was small, even in middle school, I roast back. But see, I wasn't scared. But see, that's how you get in that fire. See, in the South is different. You got to take that criticism, man. You got to take that punch in the mouth, man. That's part of it.
Take that, bad boy.
Yeah, and I do the same thing. I throw punches back. That's part of it, man. That's how you grow. Even when you're adult, you joke around the barbershop. That's what it is, man. That's acceptable on any level. As long as if you have a structural conversation, and you can do it if we talk about sports like that. We joke on the player, we joke on people, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the roasting. I ain't got no problem. I don't care who likes it. I don't care if you're a big YouTuber or small. You're going to get roasted. If you say something dumb, I'm going to come at you. Oh, shit done dropped off. But yeah, I got 6 out the box. I had 7 earlier while y'all wasn't on the panel. So ain't nothing new. But shouts out to Wacky for the share, man. But yeah, it's just, like I said, the co-ed spaces, it's fun, entertainment. I agree with Wacky and the brothers on the panel, like 1G's and Rashawn and Shade and others. Oh, he came back. Yeah, man, it's one of those things, man. Like, you just got to deal with it and stand on your square, on your principles. But sometimes people get emotional, man. Like, she hits with
yeah, I don't mind the criticism, people being critical of others and critiquing. And, there's a difference between roasting and critiquing. And I don't even mind the roasting as long as it's done on a joking matter. It's like, okay, I'm a roaster, but we just playing around. It's nothing personal. Let's just joke around. You know how we used to just, how let's say you and your boys, you and your friends, you hang around and y'all get down the conversation and just at a specific point in time in the group conversation, you just snap jokes at each other, but it's just all plain and fun. That I don't mind. But when people want to seriously come and roast and argue with each other over a disagreement, that's when things are taken too far and it just becomes immature at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's like this. It's like you find a lot of times when someone would make a video critiquing the argument of another content creator, then that other content creator comes back and respond in a form of roasting. It's like, dude, that person's debating your talking points, and the only thing you got in return is just to roast them. Come on, that's unintelligent. So I'm like, there's a time and place for roasting, but it's sometimes sometimes there's a time and place to just grow up, so there's a time and place for everything. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's necessary. If a certain business don't like you, I use it that way. I try not to beast with it. When it's personal, I try to leave it alone. Even if I have problems with those individuals, but I just leave them alone at this point because I said I'm good on that. I mean, I had my fun over with the a classic stream over his of the roadcast, but I ain't gonna mention those individuals. I'm just saying I'm guilty of that, but I'm getting better with it now. Trying to mine's like soft language. I ain't saying no foul languages to them, but I'm trying to get away from that, because I'm getting better with it now. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna do it for fun now. If they want to come at me and roast and we come at each other, that's cool. But if it's a conversation like something serious, I ain't gonna roast you. I'm just gonna just do my thing and be me, and I'll pull links out. That's what I do when I debate people. I pull them links out and be like, I pull a BGS on there. I say, he's pulling links now. I say, well, I have to. If you're gonna insult me, I'm gonna keep going. And that's part of it, But I agree with Wacky. Yeah, it gets a little immature because some people they take it too far. Then they talk people's. I don't like the part when they talk about people's grandparents or dead people and all that. I don't co-sign that. I really don't. Even threats on the net, it just makes you look unintelligent. And I thought you was more structured than that. Sometimes I had to back away from those individuals, and I had to learn that this whole year. But me, I'm just here, man. I'm just here with it.
Like prime example, Griswold.
Yeah. And I know they cool with what's the name? Shouts out to Gino, man. But it was tough. I know the anger, and it was like a comedy session, and we just discussed this over at DS1 in the Bishop's channel. Like, dude be over there acting wild, man. But Gino needs to chill, man. Quit getting emotional about stuff like that. You gotta grow a thick skin. I mean, I would say when I was not his age, but we're around. I got some years on him, but if he dealt with that as young, man, that's something you gotta get that solved, man. Like in this space, you gotta take that, man, because sometimes there's people that don't like it. Sometimes you counter with an argument. It don't have to be a roast or anything. You just come with it. But I think when Angerman came on that panel and then he came right behind him. That was interesting. That was interesting. And then I kind of enjoyed it, but then I'm saying they kind of squashed it. They said, we're good. We're gonna leave you be. Because and they had to clean up their image after that. And they had like a long speech about it yesterday over the Bishop channel. I was like, okay. Just like I said, like based off this title, but I'll talk about all those topics Friday and then the 20th and sum it up to why it's people get emotional about politics and stuff. I'll discuss that on the 20th, but that Friday about roasting. Now, if a person's coming at you, yeah, you can roast back. I believe in somewhat of retaliation, but as long as it's structural and it hits a nerve, not just nothing personal, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because I don't go for the families are off limits, kids are off limits. You know what I mean? That's like a low blow. That's like below the belt. So, everybody's off limits. That's liability or collateral damage. But you got certain individuals that love to do that. I said, nah, man, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, but clean the image up ain't nothing but structure. That roasting stuff. It's guys been doing that for a minute. Now the thing with Gino is the reason why they was coming at him when I finally figured out what they was talking about or getting on him about. That was the same reason I got on him. He was coming with a narrative on when he gets married, a certain structure in which he want his family, his wife to deal with. And I hit him over the head. I'm like, this don't sound right. I said, Gino, what's the longest relationship you ever been in? And he's like, if I don't answer this, then I'm gonna feel like a female. I said, you ain't gotta answer it. I'm gonna let you know you ain't gotta answer it, but everything that you saying don't sound right, because dudes who've been in relationships, they know they know what you're saying doesn't sound right. He was saying that if he get a woman pregnant, she's gonna get the rights over to him to have that child, or they not getting together, they not getting married, or all this other stuff. I'm like, no woman will sign over those rights like that. I could tell you not savvy or you haven't been in a relationship. I think he told me the longest relationship you've been in was probably like 3 or 4 months.
Oh man,
Phew.
And
I've
when
been
he
a
told
lot.
me that, and look,
Yeah.
hey, look, when he told me
That
that,
ain't even
I
wrong.
look. When he told me that, I said, look, cut off the computer, go to bed, go to sleep
Mm,
right now.
mm.
I was like, dude, I was in high school and I was in longer relationships in high school than you was your whole life at 30. I think you're like 31, 32. Like Gino's a good cat. He's
He's
cool.
31.
But
He's 31. I'm 33, so I'm 2 years older than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is a lot of those guys, you know, they just reason to troll. What's up? Yeah. But this is the whole thing to troll these guys. So, you know, they pick guys like that. You know, I didn't even go at them. I just basically told them, I'm like, dude, you want to rethink your whole thought process because when it comes down to it, that ain't where you want to go. I say, you don't want to do that. He got over there dealing with Angry Man, and you know that's what they do. They roast, they poke the bell, you know, and you know he started dealing with Beasley, and that's what that's the real reason why they got upset because he put
Yeah,
together
yeah,
with Beasley.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you a secret. Beasley's a different type of troll. He does what I does. We soft troll, even with the other individuals that got at me with the Cuda thing. Cuda was threatened by that individual, and I didn't co-sign that. He was cool with Angry Man, and I know he's cool with Obsidian. And my issue is Obsidian. The reason I don't like him because he throws shots at brothers left and right. He's just as bad as Angry Man, and nobody likes Obsidian in general because he always flip flops half of the time. And that's my issue with him. Now, Angry Man, I'm neutral. I don't know much about him. I've been on a few panels with him. I know he's a dominant presence, but he gets upset when Beasley got his number. He got him on the trolling, but his biggest doxer is GMT. That's what you should be worried about because every time he makes these manifestos, man, he needs to just chill because my secret is don't feed the troll. Like David Johnson said, don't feed the troll because the troll will always win in the hack war. You know what I mean? Because look at the internet. Everything is data stripped from the top governing down by Google, and they already selling your data somewhere else. So you can be found. Look at Saint Center, what he did to old Shay. He checked him. He tried that stuff on him, and he retaliated back with some boys that he knew in Africa, and then he said, "I can touch you, man." And that's what you got to be concerned. I try to tell dudes to quit trying to threat people on panels, man. That goes for both sides. Don't do that because that makes us all look bad. And then there you go. Oh, they gonna kill each other. You know, that's how the women look at us. Look, they can't stick together. They're a bunch of niggas. They dirty, and dusties. You know, all that stuff. I get so sick of hearing that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, that's why we act like a bunch of males. And I like what Name was said. You have a lot of Sigmas running around, not leaders, but you know they're loners. But you do have a lot of he said betas and omegas. To me, they're one and the same. But he said they're all killers. And then some people say the alpha is the same thing. They're all kills, but alpha is the leader, like B just said. That's what you see with Gino. Gino don't understand. Like when you're in an arena with guys try to roast, and that's what they live for in comedy as a side thing. You know, beside the other things they talk about, you just got to be careful, man. It ain't for everybody. Like I said, and I don't agree with Edward Anderson. No, if you started the roasting and think you can talk shit, people are going to talk shit right back to you and start roasting you. You know, they try and be nice. They don't want to hurt your feelings because you want to shit talk and talk about women all day. Because I can't stand him either. Him and Obsidian, they do this shit all the time. And then you wonder why strife happens. That's why Angry Man gets so amped up. And I understand why. I don't co-sign stuff he does half of the time, but I understand where he's coming from because he's coming from their perspective. But they're really divided. I hate to say that about 2 They're very divided because they ain't even unified. That's why Beasley does what he does, and I don't complain what he does because I don't feed the troll because they always watching. That's what they do. There's different levels of troll, and I talked about that in the self stream. There's levels to it. If you've been doing it longer, you're gonna get a huge result. But they're more calmer now. But the older you get, you won't troll as much. I've kind of stopped trolling. I kind of back away on certain things on certain individuals. I troll in the chat that I need to troll at, you know. But even Ramils and Platinum, that's it. Everybody else, I don't do that. You know what I mean? I just listen. you know. And that's what Beasley has done. He done it so long. I have too in my 20s, and I grow out of it now. Since I turned 33, I said, "No, I'm tired of it now."
Yeah, because even when Beasley trolls, he trolls with a purpose. Like he never trolls on art panel. So when guys come at him on art panel, he gives them the business, but he let them know I never troll on art panel because art panel's not the panel for that. You know, when him and Smooth went at each other, and then he did a stream about Smooth. You know, I was like, you know, Smooth, my boy, and he was like, yeah, Rashid, if you cool with Smooth, fuck you. Then the next panel, what's up, Rashid? What's going on? Like he get in the mode, he plays that character, and I'm like, dude, that's what he does. Like he already know me and him cool. He might say one thing on one panel, then the next minute he'll come back, hey, what's going on? How you doing? That's the character. Like even with guys in this space, you got guys that have a character. They have the persona where I have to keep it up. You know, I'm a gangster. I'm a ladies' man. You got to keep. I'm a player. You got to keep that persona up. You know, once you lose that persona, you start losing viewership. You start, hey, he ain't what he says. He playing. So once you start, you got to keep it going.
And I'll tell you this, what he did to Complex was funny, and Complex fell for the bait. And I said, Complex, you're not a troll. He got the best of you. Yeah. And Beasley, I don't know if he's a boomer or Gen X. I think he's older than he is. And then he didn't know how old Beasley was, and Beasley didn't know how old he was, because I know Complex is in his 40s. He's a young Gen Xer. He's part of that generation. And Beasley's probably I think he's a young boomer. I don't know, but he's in between those generations, or probably Art's age. But it doesn't matter, because what it is, he got the best of them. You know, that's that soft trolling I'm talking about. I do that sometimes with the individual named Mr. Fantastic. I call him Mr. Fitnall, because he believes that George Floyd died with those drugs. But just DeAndre broke it down to me that them drugs was not in the system like that. And he said that on the third shift and told me, he said, dude, that did not happen. He was already got problems with his health anyway. He was going to die anyway with the neck and the shoulder pressed down by 4 cops and died. You know, just like what's his name, Eric Gardner style. And then he still believes that on Ramil's panel stuff. And I call Mr. Fittinelli the mob boss, and then his top boss, the Don JX. He don't like stuff like that. See, when I name flip guys like that, they get upset and they get emotional. They say, how could he? You know, in their minds, you know, like I got the best of them. And see, that's what I do. I don't really go extreme with the MFs and the customers. No, I just name flip them and embarrass them. It's like a joke. You know, some trolling is a form of joking, not all of it, but when you get the best of somebody, you break their spirit and they get really mad at you, but they don't want to say nothing. You on panels and they mention your name, and I try to say, please don't tell me to hit the link, and I'll hit the link in a heartbeat just to troll you. And some people pay to troll, like Gabe. You know, Gabe be on one. He does that all the time over Mills. They said, Gabe be troll. I said, yeah, Pookie Gabe is wild, man. You don't know what he's gonna come with. Gabe's a fool. We used to go at it in the chat over at old boys chat, Miss 824's chat. Before I was subscribed to him for a while, then I cut him off last year. We started getting along this year, which is a surprise. I'm cool with him now. You know, we wasn't that cool. We was in the chat because we was like strangers at first, and then I had him on the panel twice. So how about that? You know.
Yeah, Gabe embarrassed Fantastic one time. He was running his mouth the whole time. Gabe couldn't tell him what was going on. It was like a situation he was trying to get a loan, and he was like, you got too many properties. You got too many investments. He was like, let me tell you. No. See, you got denied for your loan because of this. You got denied because he was like, look, it was racial profile. No, what's and the whole time he kept going on. Finally, Gabe said, well, if you finish, let me talk. I got denied because it was racial profiling. All my properties I've paid off. I don't have no properties that I don't own. So he's like, well, why you didn't say that? Yeah, that's racial profile. He's like, that's what I was trying to tell you. But you were trying to tell me that I was spending my money. I was investing in stuff. I had too much money out on loans. I didn't pay my house off and this and that. He was like coming with every narrative why Gabe couldn't get the loan. And he was basically saying like, this dude credit is worse than mine. But see, you got to like, it was just crazy, man. I was crying laughing. I was like, this dude, man. Like, just let someone talk. That's why I tell you about females. Sometimes you just let them talk. They'll talk themselves. That's what most of these guys do. They talk themselves into a corner. Then they gotta figure out how to back out the corner once they get cornered.
Yeah, that's what I said about this self live stream about trolling, and I forget what I else said. It's levels to it, and then and the content. I said the same thing. If you have a content like that, see, Zero kind of stopped trolling based off certain situations, individuals they get into beefs and stuff, and certain words trigger them and things like that. That's why I always be over at Kudos to have fun, just for mild entertainment. We talk about different things. It's more verse like my channel. He's got the entertainment and the music, so he's more of a music guy than anything. And it's nothing wrong with that. You know, he has different people talk about different things. But my favorite third shift, like I said, the Just DeAndre with the credit, that was a long stream, and it's probably one of my personal favorites out of all those third shifts. I hear myself what I say on those streams, and I had fun. But I was on panels with females, and I stayed calm. They know who not to mess with or not, because I'm good. I'm more even killed on those panels, so I've done pretty well before since last year and this year. This year I have way more fun because I'm doing content and going on people's panels, being less of a panelist than I am, but you know, but mostly it'd be over at Kudos. That's it. But outside of that, I'm good. But Friday I'll break it into detail why people get triggered by roasting. And I'm gonna talk about a little trolling in there too and see why people get triggered. You know, it's certain person they just can't take it. It's like a comedy thing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, they just can't take it. And that goes for any panel, you know, and you know, I'm guilty of certain things, but I admit it. But I'm just being honest with, you know, a lot of dudes just can't take it. That's why I don't joke with a lot of dudes, because they too sensitive, and that's I just cut them off and just leave them be. That's what you do. That's what we had to do with Gino, but Gino's been doing this stuff for a while. So it's a lot of dudes like that, you know. They just can't take it. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the bigger thing with Gino is, man, he took an L with those guys. They tag team you. Unless you got your own team, you can't come up there. It's, every time he try to go against 3, 4 guys, it's not gonna happen. It's like fighting 5 guys and you doing it all yourself. You're not that good at it. It's not. You're not gonna win. You know, not that good at it. I mean, just the basis of it is just be cool with these guys. Let it go on, and then you if you're gonna get them on the back end, get them on the back end. But they got a team. If you don't have a team, see now, it would have made that thing even better if he would have got Beasley to come up there with him. Then they would have been going back and forth, back and forth. But other than that, you by yourself, it's just gonna make you look bad. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, teamwork make the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh man.
Hey,
Yeah.
The good old Manosphere. What does the future lie?
Yeah, it's the future of the Manosphere, man. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna continue doing my thing. I focus on family. If you're gonna have a family, do it. If you're not, you're gonna be single. You still need money and generational wealth. I'm just gonna keep pushing that because like I said, I'm trying to steer away so much from the gender topics because it's a problem. I mean, I know it's gonna need to be
It's
said every once
tiring.
in a while. Yeah, I mean, I'm seriously tired of talking about it. I mean, I can understand. Like, I go on some channels where I give my, commentary, far as when things need to be talked about, far as like women need to come to this point, men come to this point, and we cool. But other than that, I'm not on there telling women they need like the whole weave argument. Men don't wear weave. And the ones that do wear weave, you won't even know because these dudes are getting hair weaves because they trying to get their youth back. I seen a dude,
Yeah.
my wife showed me a dude had a whole dread head in like 12 hours, yo. They cut him, glued his head, had the dreads, shaped up the dreads. Like, dude was literally rocking the dreads for, I think they said probably like 2 or 3 months or something like that.
You
Same
talking about
dread.
Freddie Wap?
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
that's out of pocket, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he was getting the
remember
shape. He
that
was getting the shape up and
bullshit.
everything. He's getting the
I
shape up and
was
everything.
I was like, yo, like, get the this can't be. I was like, nah.
I'm like,
now they're stitching beards on.
bro. I seen that jump. I seen that jump. It was on what's the name of them boys that was it was on a video. Somebody showed a video of them dudes. It's them two brothers that was it was dang. There's that Flavor of Love in New York had her panel where she had dudes.
Chance and Rance.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was a black dude on that light-skinned black dude, and he had a beard, and the shit was straight. I'm like, damn, he hot combed his beard. And when they came back and did the edit, they showed how the dude beard was coming off in one of the pictures. Somebody freeze framed it right on MTV Live and showed how his beard was coming off on one side. And they was like, see, men are coming out with beards. I was like, what, bruh? How you play the beard game?
Oh man.
Yeah, damn, man, that's crazy.
But I'm like, if a woman wears a weave, as long as it look nice, I'm cool with it, bro. If she wear a wig, as long as it look nice, I'm cool. Like, I don't control no woman head. Even like I tell my wife, I'm like, I don't like that stuff, but if it looks good, then so be it. Like, how can I sit here and judge her about her? Now, the bunny situation, I tell her in a heartbeat. You ain't going out no side with no bunny, especially with me. You're not going no bunny with me on your head. You know, that's the whole thing.
Hell nah.
It's dressed to impress, man. You know, the women, like, we have this argument about the bonnet. I'm just not dealing with. First of all, my wife don't even wear bonnets, and if she did, I have to second guess myself. I'm like, I'm not going out with you with no bonnet on, none of that stuff. Like, nah, we not doing that. See, that's the argument is we're gonna have an argument about the bonnets, we'll have an argument about the weave. My thing is, why are you dealing with the women like this? Just like I hit them guys on the panel one time, on art panel, we was having that discussion. I said, how many of you guys fool with chicks who wear weaves? Like, how many of y'all date chicks who wear weaves? Nobody said, I don't. None of those guys said, I don't. But the whole point of it is we having a conversation. I don't like chicks with weaves. But when I say how many of y'all don't fool with these chicks, none of those guys didn't say I don't. You know, even they dealt with the chicks. That's what I'm like, bro. It's like what are we doing? You gonna say you don't deal with these chicks, you don't want none of these chicks, but you steady dealing with it. You steady having sex with them. But when does the weed come into play where it matters? When you get married or something? I'm like, just don't fool with them chicks. Like, all the guys make panels about, man, these women are this, these women are that. Why are you still dealing with women if you don't like them? That's simple. If I have an issue with women and they treat me wrong, I'm not gonna do panels about them. I'm gonna do panels about myself before I do a panel about women treating me wrong. Like, we doing 30,000 panels about how bad women is. Why are we not doing 30 panels about men improvement, about money, stuff like that?
Word, man.
Yeah, they talk. There's a lot of people that do crypto. I know Ty City and others. Brain Trust. It's a few channels. It ain't that many. It's a lot of them. I know people say AM does. It's a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
it's a variety for everybody in the sphere. But the thing is, like, what I'm gonna cover Friday, it's gonna talk about roasting and trolling. Is it necessary in space? I mean, for certain individuals that like content like that, you already got them that's known for that. They can do that. They can do that. I'm not gonna judge you. That's just who you are. You can't stop a person. My advice is don't feed the troll. You know, just ignore them or whatever. And I always do that over any channels that's hectic or basically entertainment. That's what they're gonna do. Now, if it's like if it's like structure like Roger and I'll say like a BGS or Art of New Style or Wackies or myself, you can't even do that over here because I'm not even trolling half the time. Sometimes if it's a serious topic, it's no need for that. You know, there's other channels that's appropriate. Again, but you know, greetings, Shar. And yeah, that's the first time she came on.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things, man, And that's why I've learned about those co-edit panels, man. They just kind of, they can get a little hectic, and some of them are structured like Art's trying to do, and he tried it, and certain fellas get upset about it. But the thing I'm trying to say is, you can have the fun too with them as well. But the thing is, a lot of them do, and you got some women trolls as well. So let's be atrocious with the men on Platinum's panels. I just laugh and let her have her fun. Yeah.
So
Yeah, she almost caught me into her trap. I was like,
yeah,
nah, you step the fuck back.
yeah. I learned to walk away, and the thing is, you don't feed the troll, and that's what they do. And that's like what David said. You just got to be smart. You got to pick your battles when you're doing the roasting too. And sometimes I'll take a roast. I don't even care. But sometimes my shit will be so deadly. Seeing Kuda, he'll amp you up, and I try to ignore it. I'll say, no, I'm good. I ain't trying to mess with you. But I'll discuss that Friday. Why is it like that, and how we do that? Some of it's like barbershop talk. We just go at each other's heads, man. And that's just normal. That's just a normal behavior. And that's just, that's something black men live off of. Because when I grew up, people roast you and make fun of you if you do something dumb anyway. It's just part of it, especially in the South. That's just a normal thing. It's like a tradition. It's like a religion over there. I just got out of a chat at the Prophet Thoughts because I know someone was talking and trying to be preachy, but I said I ain't gonna listen to that. But I'm doing my stream here, watching the game. But yeah, I was just observing. Because ain't nobody really streaming but him. It was Ty City. Ty City came on early and watched a few of his and glanced at it, but then focused on this stream, and it was like an hour. I might have to rewatch his stream again on a replay. But yeah, man. I mean, the way I come with this topic is these are the future of the manosphere, like the co-ed panels, because I see a trend. Everybody's doing them because the ones that structure, I hate to say it, is really Art of New Style and Roger Report because they were the others. I mean, Gold Pete as well. He's the third one. That's it. But BGS usually have one or two or three, but not as many because he deals with the esoteric stuff. And he's one of them dudes, like, he don't do a whole lot of panels. He just goes over to the PhDs and things like that. That's his expertise. So you don't see him do a lot of live streams, but shadow points and things like that.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You got a lady in the space I be watching all the time. The one who used to run BGS for women. What's her name? And it's Char Willie.
Yeah, Char Willie.
But she got her channel is I think it's Just Ask Char. I think that's her channel. She changed it from Char Willie to Just Ask Char. Man, she like her and Classic Ruby, man, they be going in like, bro.
Oh yeah.
I be rolling over there, man.
Yeah, Classic Ruby. I've been on panels with her. She's decent. She's good though.
Yeah, she'll hold her weight. That's the thing I like about her. When she come in there with the dudes, because I was over there one day kicking him with him. I was messing with him, and I hit him with the Maxwell, and they was laughing. Char was like, "Man, you got to give me that sound bite." She was like, "Cause I got a lot of soft dudes that come over here that need." Like Char, she a beast, man. I like her.
Yeah, and Classic Ruby is as well. She was like that over at Game Changers, and she's ruthless with the mouth, man. And she's smart too. She's smart too. She got ruthless with Complex over at the Black Brain Trust over at Zeros. But Zeros over the Black Brain Trust messing with her. I forget what stream it was on, and she went at their heads, man. I started laughing. She's smart though.
Yeah, because she told me, she was like, back in the day, she was like, she deal with men that actually came with facts. And when she was like, she messed with these new guys that come in the Manosphere, and she was like, cite your sources. Where's your facts? And they'll be like, BGS. Like, well, where's BGS data coming from? I don't know. Like, you just spouting stuff you don't know about. Like, she come with it because she was like, back in the day, you was, hey, black demographics, check the stats over there. Guys don't even have sources where they get their information from. They hear another YouTuber, then they regurgitate it over here, and they think it is gold.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you hear something like that should tell you like, I need to go look this up.
Right.
Instead of looking like an idiot, thinking like you know everything, like you the great Wizard of Oz.
You said that in your stream today too, Rashawn. I saw that when you said that part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like stick to what you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's okay. It's okay.
and
It's
that's
okay
why
to.
what's his name? Gold Professor talks about that, talking about dispelling on Wednesdays about reading, because you got Grinch and all the other guys, but yeah, niggas don't read, niggas don't read. It proves it every time they spout out this stuff without checking their sources. Like, do you ever read?
Yeah. Yeah, I read all the time. I read books, sometimes online, get sources, and I do research on stream. And that's what I do. That's why I'm so consistent with my words, and then the wordplay and sounding it out. And then my readings got more crisp than before when I was in my 20s. And I mean, I'm 30 something now because I gotten better. I got more crisper with the voice. So yeah. So yeah, it's a good thing when you read, you learn a lot. I'm just reading on the zodiac about the Capricorn, man. It's interesting. I ain't got done with it yet. I don't read more signs, just the characteristics, not the symbolism. Art likes to talk about that stuff. New style. He always mentioned that in the streams. Since he's an artist.
Yeah, he gave me a good book about the African holistic.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the book. It's pretty good, man. It talks about a lot of natural healing.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me to get the one that like 300-400 pages. The other one was like cheap, but it had less pages, like 100 and 200 something. But the other book, man, it goes in a lot of esoteric stuff, talking about like reading palms, and yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah.
And it's another guy, Sonny Boxing. Man, Sonny Boxing, man, that guy who comes up there. Because it's another guy that has Sonny Boxing channel, and it's not the same Sonny that comes on BGS. I think this is a different guy, even though he has boxing and stuff like that too. But this guy, man, he had like a library. They was going one night, man, it was like classic. They was going book for book, him, Art, BGS, Angry Man, and some other guy. They was like, "Oh, you got this book? Well, I got that book. You got this book? I got that book. Like, I got original copy. Yeah, I got that book there. I got this one on Kindle or something, but I'm gonna go get the copy. Like some of those originals was like $500 and stuff. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, man. Like he got in a debate with DC Codebreaker about a certain topic, and he told him right here, it was on Art of New Style. I'll never forget. I forget the name of that stream, but it was a clean debate. And he said it's no hate to him, but it was a certain topic they don't know. He said BJS they don't know the information about the slavery part. He says right here, I got the page, and his BJS, he said it's right here. Like I started laughing because I never seen him get so amped up like that. And it's kind of funny that he did that. So that kind of makes sense why he's so passionate what he does, and that's just the whole thing. And I just look at it like this. I mean, it's a good back and forth. But it wasn't no argument. It was a good trade off, and I like stuff like that. I like some of the pushback that people have. Stuff like that. It gets a lot. These are two older gentlemen, and one was in his 60s, one was in his 40s. A healthy debate, for them two. And shouts out to them for that on the Art of New Styles channel. But I forget the name of that stream, but that stream was just. It was something else. It was tense. And, when the conversation gets crisp and good, that's when it gets, right at it, So, yeah, just like the topic, man, like co-ed panels, are they like the future, whatever, like I said in the stream, It's the future of the Manosphere because that's what they try to promote. And sometimes, you know, if it's a not co-ed panel, you're somewhere in the rut or in the middle or the bottom. See, me, I'm fine. You know, I'm not promoting no relationships over here because that's like a selling point. You know what I mean? That's when you have to worry about super chats, uh, Cash App, and the trolling. You're doing it by yourself. Now, if you get a certain number, that's when you want to put the bots in your chat. Like they have, like the Prophet of Thought has it. Who else has it? Game Changer. There's a lot of people that have it. You know, the bots, and you know, with the Cash App, and you know, Streamlabs. That's easy.
Yeah, I got trolled today, man. I gotta edit that video. I was talking about going live, like what's the whole existence on going live? How does it help you? Is it doing anything for you? And man, I got like so many trolls came in.
Yeah, I saw that. I was in that chat, and
Yeah,
then
I
they
follow
was trying
John
to,
too.
yeah, and they one of them accidentally timed Beach out. Beach ain't no problem. She's cool. She ain't no troll. She's a content creator. I'm like, who the hell time out Beach?
Yeah, I think it was Swoops, because Swoops, she new to this area. She
Uh,
food underrated. So I gave her a wrench because she pretty cool.
oh
I
yeah.
go on her panel and stuff. So she probably didn't know because her name Beach OG Wet with it. You like what the what type of name is that?
Oh, it's Beach. She be on the panel
Yeah,
in the third shift. She be talking to Kudo a lot. She's always over there,
yeah,
and she comes from the beef and roast sector. Well, actually, the roast sector. That's where she comes from. But she knows those people, so she's been in these type of sectors for years. So yeah.
yeah. Because I always freaking. I watch her channel. I comment on Beach. But like I said, just certain people. If you ain't in the space, you don't know. Because that's like those trials. I knew what they was gonna do, but my whole thing was trying to convert. As soon as I pop them up, and I had to go over, switch over to the single cam to where it only shows my picture. By then they already showing the video, and I'm like, come on, man, like I can't. Like I was trying to bring the trolls up because I seen them in the back. I was like, okay, these are trolls, but I'm like, it's just gonna get them up there and just talk, and I'm gonna let them talk for a minute and drop them down because I know they can't show anything. Even with the whole thing of the making the sound, it was gonna be like, okay, you doing sound and you saying stuff, but I dropped you, did it don't mean nothing. But the videos were popping up, and I was like, dang, they killed that shit. It was good. I had
Mhm.
Joey on there.
Yeah, I saw Joey. He
Herb,
did great. Yeah.
yeah, Herb was on there. Herb was talking about it because Herb did. He gave Roger a lot of pushback about that thing on the topic today, and I was like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
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 And I
Herb's a good
told
dude.
him, yeah,
Yeah. I've been on a
he
few
thinks too
panels with
much.
him though. Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks too much with his heart though, man. That's what I be trying to tell him. When I
Well,
say,
that's Irv. He's his own man, and I like what he said on the third shift. He said, but he has to understand that's how BGS and them guys think. Like if you be on his panels long enough, Irv, I told him this. That dude deals with esoteric stuff, but what you got to understand, that's who he is. I mean, he walks the beat of his own drum, and he says it every time on each video. You just got to learn from him. He's a smart elder, and then you just take a pieces from him for yourself. So some people just take this stuff the wrong way and too lightly. You know,
yeah,
that's usually the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped off. Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, this stream is something else. Almost the 3 hour mark. Yeah, man.
Hey.
Yeah,
Man,
at least I had like 7. I had twice had 7 out the box. That's a good thing. Eventually, I done had 8 before.
Mm.
Okay, I'll see you soon, Shar. Okay. Yeah. I don't let the time run out. Yeah, because I know people is watching. But yeah. Yeah, just that's the topic, man. I done covered enough on it. It's the co-ed space is the future because I'm saying they're gonna add some new formats in these type of live streams, and I think that's part of the game plan that they want. So, you know, I don't know if Kuda's gonna have a third shift or not. I'll probably catch him on the 12 or 3 a.m. because I don't know. He's probably watching somebody right now that sky watches and things like that. So I just want to make this.
Yeah. Well, just bring out the popcorn and snacks.
Go see and watch what happens.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Is like Wacky said, there's too many niggas without no moral compasses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see what the time go. Count this down. Let's see for a moment. Yeah, it's on the 3 hour mark. Okay, I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gone long enough. All right, Juan G's, you got any last words?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one last thing. Last thing I'm gonna say is, man, just go to don't be into bullshit, man. Just stick to what you know, what you like, and your morals, and you'll be cool, man. Just don't be following to the bullshit. That's all.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I agree with that statement. Any last words, Rashawn?
Uh, just be yourself. If you're new to this sector, just be yourself. Yeah, stay away from the bullshit, because you get it's easy to get caught up in that, but it's hard to shake it off. So keep your karma clean and you be alright.
Facts
Right.
right there.
Oh, not a problem, man. Always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
man. Yeah, it was a pleasure, bro. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem.
And we out.
All right.
Peace
Peace.
out, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Today, I'm views out for some views. I want to shout out to this lady right here, Charlotte Willie. Salute to you coming by. Absalom Bianchi, Bronzberg. Let's see who's up here. Mactow, new up here. Shouts out to you, brother. Wacky on the road with your wisdom up here. Let's see here. Yep. Go P. Rashawn Bennett. Again, Rashawn Donnie. Yes, he came through. And Anti, salute, brother, for coming on the panel and in the chat with your input. Appreciate you, brother. And the rest of you that was in the clouds. So with that,